Good evening, everybody. Can y'all hear me?
Yep, I can.
Yes, we could.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Folks on this Dre, what's up? So y'all, people who wasn't on here yesterday, man, I just wanted to put something together. Me and my boy Jose, he gonna jump on here and give some game a little later. We just want to put something together for some people to be able to get value. Who might not been able to afford my mentorship, might not been able to afford a mentorship, but one of the things you won't have to do if you want to go to the next level, you want to make serious money. You want to have a serious impact. When I say real money, like a lot of people think 6 figures a year is money, and that used to seem like money. But, you know, when you start making 6 figures a month and you start to feel like that's not enough money because you can't help enough people, that's when you start going to that next level. But it's some things that you got to do in order to get to a point like that. So I wanted to have 3 days to spend with y'all just to kind of give y'all some information, some insight, how I changed my life, how a lot of other people on this call changed their life by investing in me, total strangers, right? So I know y'all be seeing me posting on social media a lot. And a lot of these people that I meet, most of these people, probably 80% of these people be strangers that get started with me, right? That I meet on Instagram, Facebook, people, you know, really investing in themselves. A couple of them on this call, matter of fact. And the crazy thing is, like, you know, I be popping out. I be literally showing up. Like, when I say one deep, like, I really go out by myself and be like by myself and run into people, right? But I had a brunch one day. My man Vern on here, Vern, big dog Vern, you on this joint?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, man, I had a brunch one day. I was like, man, I'm gonna be in DC, so I'm gonna have like meet up with a couple of my students that's in my mentorship. We all linked up, and Vern walk in the joint, you know, and I guess he had seen me on social media, Instagram or Facebook or something like that, and he was like, "Yo, that's you." And I was like, yeah, like, and he was like, man, I'm thinking about joining the mentorship, you know. And this is why you got to always market, promote your business. So when people see you in person, that's going to be the first thing they say or the first thing they automatically think about. So I was like, man, look, I'll give you a special price right now if you get started. You know what I'm saying? Lo and behold, he got started. And man, I just want to share with y'all the success this man has had, dog. Just think, I had a brunch. Just say I'm a meet with some of my students at a brunch, and he got a hookah business in the establishment, and he invested his money into this mentorship. I'm gonna just let him tell you what he's doing right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
1 second. Let me mute you. 1 second. Damn. Go ahead, Vern.
We good. So yeah, like I said, I met Jeremy in DC at a brunch. I was following his page for maybe a month, came across my Instagram, so the Sax Play was interested, but I still didn't take that step to invest. I saw him and I was like, this ain't nothing but God, honestly. So I saw him in person, we wrapped it up. He told me invest, he's gonna give me that special price. I was like, ain't nothing else to do. So I invested. When I met Jeremy, my credit score was at something like 630. I'm like, I need to get that up. So I invested in information. And 3 months later, credit score jumped up. Also, I started my business doing credit repair. So owner of a credit repair business that I now impact other people. And like I said, that's very great because in my community when I was taught and what I was learning, it was like, don't get a credit card, stay away from credit, don't use other people's money, this and that. So I took the chance, and then, like I said, I have a credit repair business. My first customer, his credit score was at something like a 530, 560, something like that. Within 2 months, got his credit score to 730-ish in maybe 2 months. So definitely impacted his life. But on top of impacting his life, came back, then he says, I need funding now. This happened maybe last month. Actually, no, 2 weeks ago. He says, I need funding. Can you give me funding? Of course, no problem. So got in locked in with him, sent him a referral from my Capital One, which I already had. So now I get $100 off my Capital One. And now got him funding. He got approved for a $7,000 credit limit. And now he's my customer again. And things like that it's just life-changing because, again, investing in the mentorship, paying what you pay, that money always gonna come back. Made $1,000 in a day last week. And like I said, for minimal work. Took me like what, 10 minutes? Go ahead, send him that link. You know, he got funded or whatever, but he's definitely so super grateful. And like I said, the biggest thing is my impact and being able to help the people around me. So definitely one of the things that I can't thank Jeremy enough for. He had brunch. So he came back, circled around, and we had brunch a couple of weeks ago as well. We talking, we having a good time or whatever. And I'm like, Jeremy, like, my credit score good. I've been looking at people getting Amex cards. I'm thinking about applying. Should I do it? He said, man, apply for the Amex card. This was on like maybe a Saturday or a Sunday. Monday night, I applied for a Platinum card, Cash card, and Hilton Rewards. Got approved and got all three. So definitely, like I said, I'm definitely grateful. Definitely happy that I invested, you know what I mean, and took that step to better my life. Got a new apartment. I told Jeremy, about to go ahead and move out, go ahead and get my thing together. But it's definitely a great feeling. And I can't thank Jeremy enough. Like I said, I'm locked in. Every product come out, I got my bag, got my slides coming soon. But it's just big. It's definitely, can't thank Jeremy enough. And like I said, if you're not in, you need to get in because it's life-changing information, and this information is going to take you to the next level. So yeah, that's really pretty much it for me.
Man, big dog Verb, man, appreciate you, man. Put your IG, give them your IG, put your IG in the chat too.
Yes, I'll put my IG in the chat. My IG is Big Dog Vernon. I'll put that in there for you guys.
Man, look, I don't watch Vernon. Literally, like, it's crazy when you can remember the day you meet somebody for the first time and they actually take action on this information. Cause like people be seeing the success I be having and they be feeling like it's a scam or it's something that's not duplicatable. And that's why I be popping off the way I be popping off. Cause I'm like, yo, when we was in school, if you ain't know the answers, if you ain't know how to pass the test, you was willing to cheat and risk exposure or whatever to get the answers. But when we get out here in real life and you got the people at your disposal who begging to show you how to get this money, and then you don't do it, man, I be cutting people off, dog. I'm cutting you off. If you ain't trying to let me show you how to win, it ain't no point for us to even be associates. Fuck friends and family. We don't even need to talk. It's people like when I go out, And I see people I used to know. I act like I don't even know them no more. You know what I'm saying? They come up to me and they like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, sometimes even when I know them, I be like, who was you? Like, you been saying what I'm doing and you think I'm about to buy the bar? Like, nah, dog. We not even rocking like that. All right, so I'm about to get into this real quick because we got a lot to cover. 1 second. I think I left off on this. But y'all can see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, bet. Yeah, I left off here. So, man, thank God I was able to retire when I was 33. I retired at 33 years old, right? Literally retired from my 12-year career, got fired from my last job, and I said, that's it. I ain't going back, right? And a lot of people used to like just talk to me about and try to deter me from entrepreneurship because of these so-called benefits, like your retirement or your health insurance or your 401k. Like, and I don't think people really understand like how that stuff really works, or if that stuff is even going to be around, right? Like, if you can't, if you have a hard time right now living off 100% of your income, you living off 100% of your income right now. Most people on here, a lot of people on here don't even got kids yet. If you ain't comfortable, if you ain't in the house that you want to be in, you ain't driving the car, and not like it's a lot of people that be settling on the car. But if you had an infinite amount of money, what car would you drive? Like, if you had an infinite amount of money, what house would you live in? Like, I'm talking about like that, not like settling, realizing, oh, I only make $7,000 a month. Now I got to settle for this. No, like, if you can't do 100% of what you want to do right now with 100% of your income, then what are you going to do in 20 years when you only can live off 60%? And then we got inflation. Like, it's impossible. Like, when I see people retire, I talked about this yesterday, I see people retire just to go to work to get a second income because the first income didn't support nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or I see people retire just to do nothing. They hated their job so much, they just didn't want to go to work. But now they're going to dumb down their lifestyle. They ain't traveling. So that's why we got to develop high ticket skill sets, right? We got to develop high ticket skill sets and have impact. Vernon invested in himself. Now Vernon has skill sets where he just told you, and I'm going to share with you just what I shared with him on how to do it. Why everybody need a credit repair business? Because for one, he invested in himself. Then he got his credit together, right? Then I showed him how to start his own credit repair business, right? So now he's fixing people credit, right? Then he learned how to do the funding sequence, right? So then he gets his self-credit cards, right? And then I tell him, look, now you can do people's funding. You did it yourself, charge them. You got him $7,000, charge him 10%. He got to pay you $700 for getting him $7,000. Boom, that's another business. He gets paid again. Now that person's going to run around town and say, yo, Vernon fixed my credit. Vernon got me money. Now Vernon going to have a reputation for doing something that he just learned. Me and Vernon just met each other a couple months ago. He only 24 years old and he doing this. Now he'll never have to work a regular job. Him running the business that he working, he already meeting people, networking with people, and now he able to leverage that and use this to his advantage, right? So we got to start thinking outside the box and finding other ways to make money. And a lot of people like, yo, that's not my passion. Think about your job. Like, is waking up at 9 in the morning your passion? Do you want to wake up with an alarm clock every morning? I swear, once you stop waking up with an alarm clock for a month, you will never do that again. That ain't even healthy to wake up to some noise. Wake up to something screaming because you got to wake up. Like, you want to naturally wake up. And you even, the crazy thing is, When you work for yourself, you'll wake up earlier. It ain't nothing to wake up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And guess what? I want to go to work. I woke up this morning, I couldn't wait for the stock market to open. I'm waiting on 9:30, like, man, I can't wait. Guess what? I got in the stock market with some money that I leveraged from another business that ain't my money, somebody else's money. Got in the stock market for 3 minutes and made $945 in 3 minutes, right? So you got to learn other ways to make money, but it's a sequence you're going to have to do, right? 40% of people have no retirement fund. And I know it's a lot of people on here who probably in that age, not a lot of people, but some people on here who probably in that age of retirement. And like, I know this one kind of hurt, but this one we got to look in the mirror, like, and start doing something different, and then showing other people how to do something different so they don't end up thinking that they can walk down this same road. People really think that they're going to be able to retire and afford a lifestyle, right? The average Social Security check in New York City is $16,000 a year. People always talk about Social Security like this is about to be like some money. My mother showed me what her Social Security check was going to be. And my mother been working since she's 15 years old. She just turned 60. She's been working 45 years straight. When she showed me what that was, I was like, oh my God, like I gotta create another business. I gotta create another business, right? Because we can't live off this stuff. We can't live off this stuff like worse than government assistance.
You know, they hire you and they want us all unemployed. That's what they want. So it teaches you, is a 9 to 5 a good thing? It's really not a good thing. You really need to become an entrepreneur, make your own money, because we're not running a lot of these businesses out here, and they don't care about your tenure on a job. I see people 30 years get terminated. They'll terminate you because they don't like the way you look. You know, I've been confronted on many occasions on jobs. Hey, you don't smile a lot.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how many jobs I've been fired? I got fired from a job. I told you that yesterday. I got fired from a job because I had a 22 maximum. Like, stuff real. Like, okay, make sure our lines muted. Appreciate it. Sure y'all keep your lines muted. Queen, can you mute the line, Queen? Because if I can't get y'all to mute y'all lines, I'm gonna have to boot some people out. All right. So this is just an excerpt that I saw that I wanted to share. Millennials hold 4% of 4.8% of all wealth, right? They're now 40-year-old millennials, right? At the same age, Generation X had 9% of the wealth. Baby boomers had 21%. The largest generation in history did what the system told them to do, became the most educated in history. Now they're the poorest in history. Like, how does that happen? And that's why we got to look at like the things they put in front of us when they push these degrees on us, right? We'll be willing to go to college, right? Think about what somebody drop in the chat. What y'all paid for? What did y'all pay for college? Because my college was like $150,000 because I stayed on campus for like 4 years.
Oh,
so
2 of those are
yours. Y'all spend. Hey, make sure y'all lines are muted, please. Make sure y'all lines is muted. But just think about what you spent for college. Like most people spent $50,000 to $100,000 for college. To come out here and work for what? Think about what you make after taxes. People, if people, let's just say a great salary of $150,000 a year, and people ain't making that. The most I ever made in corporate America was $77,000. If a person make $150,000 a year and they ain't got no kids, they ain't got, after everything come out, their health insurance, let's say they invest in the 401k, let's just say after taxes, $7,000, but it's probably not that. It's probably like $6,400 a month. $7,000 a month ain't no money. You can't even drive. you can't even really afford a new car. You can't even afford a new car that's $100,000. It's really not in the budget, right? But yet, when people see, oh, this person is offering this type of information that could possibly give you new ways to make money, people don't want to invest, right? And the information that people are sharing is literally how to change your life, how to make money you never thought about. Like $20,000 and $30,000 a month sound good, but really that should be a bad month. Like that should be everybody's bad month. It's too many ways out here to make money. I got students on here that are incarcerated right now that made $15,000 last month. I don't know if my guys on West, is you on this joint? I don't see my guy on this joint, but he usually on this joint. I'm gonna see if he can get on later. But I got students that's incarcerated that's making this type of money, right? And having this type of success with this program being in jail, right? So, one second. All right, so in this training, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna break down how I was able to stop doing anything illegal in the streets, how I was able to quit corporate America, how I was able to get out my own trap of my own mindset, my own self-doubt and limiting belief. Because I used to think that people who wore suits were better than me, smarter than me. I used to think people who had good jobs was smarter than me, even though at a lot of points in time, I had more money than them. But I wasn't doing it in a way where I felt like I was adding value. I was doing it in a way where I was being sneaky and having to duck the law, right? So I did some things and I was like, I'm going to learn from the people that are making an impact. I'm going to learn from the people that's making the money, and I'm going to turn all this around, start impacting people. Like I told many of y'all, I was able to retire at 33 years old in 2020. I started my own credit repair business and started using credit to get paid, and you can do it too. I'm going to literally show you how, if you got one credit card, you should be able to make $40,000 a year off one credit card. So when people say you got too many credit cards, this is just a few that I got right here. This is just what I walk around with. Like, if you got 10 credit cards, like, it's no reason for you to have to work a job. You're working the job because you choose to, or you're working a job because you haven't invested in the information to learn how to use the resources you already got to not have to go to work, right? So this training is different from any other training that you've been to, because I'm going to give you the actual blueprint framework that I use to change my life, right? And you just heard from Vernon, he said a lot right there, but he just gave it to you. Sometimes you gotta the more you start hearing this type of information, and being in these type of seminars and things like that, having these conversations, when somebody talk, you'll be able to be like, boom, oh, that's an income stream, that's an income stream, that's an income stream, right? And then you could literally take stuff and put it together. That's why people be like, oh, why would you pay for this information? It's all on YouTube. Yeah, everything's on YouTube, but you don't even know what the information is when you hear it. A lot of times you don't even know what it is, or you don't know the exact steps to put it together, and that's what you pay for. Jose went over yesterday. He said people don't pay for information. People pay for the organization, the implementation, learning how to do it, and people pay for the access so that when they bump their head, they can say, oh, snap. Vernon just told you, me and him went to a brunch. I already taught him in the mentorship what to do. But when we at the brunch, he like, I pull out the Amex. He was like, man, I need to get one of them. I was like, what's your credit score? Man, you need to get one of them. He like, I know, but I don't know. Back to self-doubt, limiting belief. This is getting out his own trap. He already in the mentorship, trying to get his stuff together, right? But he still got this limiting belief, because we all got trauma, right? We all got trauma. So we at the table, I'm like, bro, tell me what you got, bro. You got X, Y, Z. I told him, pull up his credit report. I'm gonna show y'all how I broke it down. Showed him. I'm like, bro, apply. And you're not just gonna get one card. We're gonna do it over and over. He got 3 cards the next day, right? But that's just from being in the right room. We sat at the table together, right? So you got to pull up to people sometimes. Sometimes it's just different. Somebody can tell you the same thing that they tell you over the phone or on a Zoom, but when you see them in person, oh, it's going to hit different. And then you mess around and apply that, and it start changing things. Right now, he's helping other people do the same, and he's getting paid for it. Right? So I'm not like in all these other gurus, a lot of these other gurus that are going to teach you things they haven't done. Like all the things that I teach are things that I currently do in my business. That's why people are like, yo, how you going to charge somebody $7,500 to teach them some information? Why would I show you how to be my competitor anyway? Why would I give you my secrets and tricks to the trade when I can just corner the market myself? I used to call myself the credit kingpin because I was like, I'm gonna take all these corners. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the block. I'm gonna take everybody's clientele. And then I was like, nah, I want to add value. I want to duplicate this. I'm gonna make this a thing where this the way out. This was my way out. Now I'm gonna show other people the way out, but I got to charge you for my time. Because if not, I'll just make all the money. Go call McDonald's right now and offer them millions of dollars for their formula. Go call Papa John's. Go call any of these major corporations, Six Flags. I don't care what business, movie producers, call 50 Cent, call Jay-Z and say, yo, I want the blueprint. I got $1 million. They're going to laugh. They're going to be like, that's not worth me giving you my secrets, right? So you got certain information you got to pay for. People can only help you but so much. But when it's an opportunity to get free information, sometimes you're going to have to read between the lines, because if somebody has to give you more, they're going to have to charge you because it's going to take so much time to break it down. My mentorship was 4 weeks long, but I had to extend it and make it 2 months now, because after my mentorship is over, it's so much information, so many ways to make money. My students be like, yo, I need to join next month. This was a lot of shit, man. And I know you're going to have some new stuff. So I had to create a reoccurring system where they pay $300 a month after they join, because it's just so much game. And when they don't join, they miss out on money, because I done paid another mentor $50,000. Now I'm giving them $50,000 worth of game for $300. And the people who didn't invest that $300 for this month, they gonna miss out. They just took what I gave them at first and they said, oh, I quit my job. I'm making $10,000, $15,000, but it's levels to this. After you make $10,000 and $15,000 for a year, you start looking around like, this ain't enough, right? And then once you start making $30,000 a month, you say, this ain't enough. Once you start making $50,000 a month, you say, this ain't enough. Because your homeboys who you talking to say they just made $100,000 in a day. Your other homeboy you talking to say he just made $120,000 in a day. They said, damn, Jeremy, you still getting on Zoom calls? You still making $100,000 a month? Man, you gotta level up. Them the people I'm around that say, damn, you still stuck at $100,000 a month? You ain't bought the Lambo yet? Damn, your mother still work? Oh, you's a bum. Them the people you want to be around, but you got to change the rooms, like, and it make you uncomfortable, but those are the rooms I'm comfortable in. I'm more comfortable in the rooms where I'm the littlest fish in the room, right? If you the strongest person in your crew, you got a weak ass crew. Like all my friends got Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces and you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's because I changed the rooms, right? And then when I get around these people, I'm coming with a seed and not my need. I'm not coming around these people saying, yo, give me information, give me money, show me a way. No, I'm going to look at what they doing and I'm going to say, yo, you know, I do this. You might want to try this. I'll give them plays. Yo, you know how I do this? Yo, you know how I do that? Yo, I make money doing this. The more I do that, the more they like, damn, he giving me the game. Man, you got some shit. You about to be the one. Now I done made them comfortable. They know, like, and trust me, next thing you know, when they got to play, they going to share it with me. But first, you got to skill up yourself and develop this knack for finding the information, learning the information, executing, applying the information, and then adding value to other people, right? So have an open mind and be willing to put in the work, right? And then you too will be able to escape whatever trap your trap is. I don't care if it's your 9 to 5, if it's the streets, if it's your limiting belief, you just trying to get around like-minded people. You just want that. Some people, life would change right now if they just had an extra couple dollars in the pocket, an extra couple thousand a month, extra $1,000 a month, right? Like that's so easy to do. Like that's so easy to do, right? So real quick, how many of y'all in this room, like me, didn't grow up rich, right? And have financial hardships in life? Drop a 1 in the chat. If you didn't grow up rich and you have financial hardships in the chat, drop a 1 in the chat. As you can see, these are my first cars. Like my family didn't buy my cars. No, my family, I didn't grow up in a house where I got handed stuff. We couldn't afford it. I grew up with a twin sister, so it was 2 of us. When I graduated high school, I told my mother I was about to take the SAT. She said, "For what?" I said, "Mom, I'm trying to go to college." She was like, "I don't know who paying for that shit because it's 2 of y'all and we ain't paying for that shit." Like, that's the type of household I grew up in where I was like, "Mom, I want a car. I'm 16. She like, "Would you get in the car? Who's paying for that?" So my first car was this little Honda Civic right here, 1988, right there on the left, right? But what that taught me was when I bought that car, I took care of it. You see, it's clean as a whistle, clean as a mug. My friends used to joan on me in that car. All my other friends had nicer cars, but guess what? All those people who had nicer cars with me when we was in high school, they ain't got a nicer car than me now. You know why? Because their parents probably bought their car. And remember I told you yesterday, when you don't pay attention. When your parents buy you that nice shit and you don't gotta work for it, you start to get spoiled. And then when you get older and you gotta work for the same shit you used to get for free, it's a mind fuck. So I thank my parents for making me work at Six Flags. Look at this right here, this picture. I was working at Six Flags. I was making $5.15 an hour. My mother would drop me off at the park. I would work 12-hour shifts. I would make $70, and then after taxes, I'd make $45. Save my money for 4 weeks, and then buy some Jordans. And that's when I realized I can't spend my money on the stuff that other people waste their money on. So I learned how to get Jordans for free. So for the last 20 years, I get 3 pair of Nikes and Jordans for free every year. At least 3 pairs. Sometimes I might triple down and get 9 pairs. I'm still getting shoes for free. So when I teach people how to get free designer, how to get shit for free, like this is shit I've been doing since a long time ago because I had to find ways to subsidize my income or to be able to get the stuff that all the cool kids was wearing. People thought my parents was rich. My parents wasn't rich. I was just resourceful. I always found ways to make money. I always did other things, found hacks, right? 1 second. Need y'all to make sure y'all lines muted. All right. Real quick, how many of you, regardless of your circumstances, never gave up on your goals and want to get fucking rich? Drop a 2 in the chat if you want to get fucking rich. Like, and people think it's something wrong with getting rich. Like, people be like, I don't want to be rich. What the fuck? Like, what kind of selfish shit is that? Like, you think your kid want to hear that shit? You don't want to get rich? Now they gotta argue with you about having a PS5, or you arguing that the Jordans that cost $210 is too much. I remember I used to have a smart ass mouth, man. I remember I didn't get my first pair of Jordans till I was in like the 5th grade. And I can remember one time I asked my parents for some Jordans and they was like, we ain't got no money for that. And I was like, well, why the F did you have kids then if you couldn't afford Michael Jordan? Why the F did you even have me? I ain't even asked to be, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of kids be thinking selfish stuff like this. This is why, like, but this is why you gotta do more, so you don't even think about, like, give Jordans away. Like, you want to have enough money where it's not for you, it's for you to change other people's lives. Like, it get to a point once you start making a lot of money, making the money don't do nothing for you. Buying cars don't do nothing for me no more. Buying clothes don't do nothing. Cars don't even mean nothing because I know how to drive them for free. Clothes don't mean nothing because I teach how to get designer for free. Money don't mean nothing because I teach how to print money. I can wake up and say, I want to make this much money. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. But if I aim for 10,000 and I only make 750, that's what I used to make a week, right? So you shouldn't be ashamed wanting to get rich. Most people just say they don't want to get rich because they know it's going to come with them having to develop themselves, them having to learn a skill, them having to become a different person. Because if you don't become a different person, your income ain't going to change, right? What's his name? Jim Rohn said, if they took all the money in the world, right, and divided it amongst everybody equally, took all the money in the world, divided it amongst everybody equally, that shit would still end up in the same people's hands. Some people don't know. If you give some people too much money, they're gonna kill themselves because they haven't developed themselves. That's why people who hit the lotto go broke, because they don't know how to make the money. My life always been in stages. I ain't never been broke. I always been one of the ones who was always shining. I was always one of the ones where people look up now, they be like, damn, I didn't know he was gonna transition like that, but damn, I knew it was gonna be something, right? So you should definitely want to get rich. Just start to learn how to develop a high ticket skill set. And then once you start making money and start figuring that formula out, you're gonna start figuring out how to save time. And then once you start saving time, you're gonna get richer because you ain't gonna have to trade time for money. You're gonna be able to multiply money and not spend no time. And that's the goal, right? So if you put a 1 or a 2 in the chat, you're in the right place, because my purpose is to help those who are often left behind. And they ain't gonna teach people this stuff in school, college, no matter how much they say, oh, we're gonna implement financial literacy. They're gonna teach some basic BS. They ain't about to teach you how to get paid off your credit like I be showing people, right? So I'm gonna show you how I was able to retire, blah, blah, I already went through that, right? So look, let's just think about this. Were you ever this student? Because this used to be me. I was a horrible test taker. You know what I'm saying? I was a horrible test taker, right? Sitting in class with no clue on the answers to the assignment. I couldn't even pass remedial math when I was in college. The only reason I passed remedial math because I sold some weed to the damn dude who ended up being the teacher's son. And I made a deal with him like, man, give me them answers and I'll just give you this, right? But I used to be sitting in the class with not a clue, and I'm great at math, but you put numbers in my math and it's all hell gonna break loose. I could do all mental math. I used to do accounting. I do fractions, decimals, all that in my head, but when it came to that, I couldn't do it. Used to be sitting in the class with no answers, right? First thing I would do, or the first thing we do, is we try to look off our neighbor paper, or we plan to sit next to somebody who got the answers, right? Or we gonna program the answers in our calculator, something, right? We're gonna do something to try to get through this. But when we get in the real world out here and we don't have all the answers, we don't make the money we wanna make, we're not seeing the success, we don't got the car we want, we don't got the house we want, we can't provide for our woman like we want, we can't provide for our mother like we want, but we see other people getting it, first thing we start doing is hating. Make sure y'all keep y'all lines muted. First thing we start doing is hating or speculating, like, or being skeptical. Oh, they probably being unethical. Oh, they probably getting over on people. Oh, it's probably a scam. Pay to find out if it's a scam or not. Pay to find out. You're gonna learn something. Even when I've I've learned something. It was worth it. I wouldn't take it back. I wouldn't take back being fired. I wouldn't take back losing $200,000 in real estate. I wouldn't take back nothing. I'll take it all, right? When we get out here in the real world, it's an open book. You can literally pay people to teach you. You can literally learn from other people for free, right? Life is an open book test where you can put all the resources, mentors, information in the same room to help you be successful. You want to learn how to get around like-minded people? Next time you see a conference, go to it. And the more you got to pay for it, the more higher level thinkers and people that invest in themselves going to be in the room. You can go to a free event. It'll be cool. You'll network, meet some people, but pay $1,000 to go to the event. The energy going to be different. Pay $2,000 to go to the event. That energy going to be different. Pay $5,000 for an event, $10,000 for an event or a mentorship. Those people in that room already going to have some shit going. So when you go there, I'm not just going there to meet people, shake hands. Hey, let me get your Instagram. I want to know what you do. I want to literally break down some segment of your business and show you how you can do that better. Show you how I can add some value to you. Next thing you know, you're going to make me a partner. Or next thing you know, you're going to pay me for something. Now I got your attention. Now I'm on your radar. Now you're looking at what I'm doing, right? What keeps people unsuccessful is not investing, not putting money into mentorship, education, and failing to collaborate, right? So make sure you invest in mentoring, right? If you wanted to go to Africa, would you charter a plane and get behind the controls yourself with no training, no map, no co-pilot to guide you? No. If the answer is no, then why would you try to charter your own business to 6 or 7 figures without a mentor or a proven system? A lot of times we like, man, I'm gonna get my LLC and I'm gonna just do this. And we think we're saving money by not investing, when really if you would have invested, you would have got the whole play, right? Big Vern, he ain't stupid. He has a business. He knows how to build business. What he paid me for was the shortcut, the cheat code to show him the stuff that I learned over all these years in a short period of time so that he could grab the ball and start running. Right? You can put all this stuff together if you want. It might take you 10 years, might take you 5 years, or you can just pay somebody, get the fast track, get the recipe, and now you can just start running and making money even quicker than they made money. Because when you pay, you're not just paying to find out the correct formula, you're paying to find out what not to do. A lot of times when I get into businesses or I get into mentorships, first thing I want to know is what not to do. Tell me your biggest mistake. Most of the time people say, man, not investing earlier. Vern is 24 years old. Think about how old you are on the phone, on this call. Put some ages in the chat so we can see. Vern is 24. So if you 34, Vern, he 10 years ahead. Imagine if you was doing this type of thing when you was 24. That's what these younger generation be having us beat. I got an 11-year-old in my mentorship. He ain't just in the mentorship, he teach on the mentorship. Is Nunu on this joint? I don't see Nunu on this joint. Right?
Nah, he not on here. He on here tomorrow. Getting himself together.
Oh, I bet. That's his father right there, right? So his father, Derek, joined my mentorship because I was putting a live event together, and Derek was going to be the videographer. At the end of the event, he didn't even want to get paid because I taught him so much game at the event. He was like, bro, you don't even got to pay me. It was supposed to be like a $600 payment. I gave so much value at the event that the cameraman I hired to record the event said, bro, don't even worry about paying me. This was the game I needed. This is the circle I want to be in. Man, I just want to be locked in with you. I was like, bet. Since you did me a favor, man, look, I'll give you my mentorship for free. At the time, my mentorship was like $3,000. So I was like, man, I'll give you the joy for free. He getting the mentorship, right? And this is why y'all with kids, it's important y'all consume this information because your kid is watching you and you don't even know it. So when we on the call, his son is wondering what he's engaged in every night, right? So his sons come hop on his lap. Now they watching me on the screen. Now they think they know me, right? Now they like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's Trap. Oh, they call me Uncle Trap. Everybody in my mentorship, they kids know me. Because when I'm on here barking, people in y'all background wondering, who is this dude talking this crap? So then his son's like, dang, I see, all right, he doing this, all right. His son hit me up like, yo, I want to get on the mentorship. You mind if I get on? Because I don't want to just listen to it on my dad's computer. I want to be in my bunk bed. I want to be in my room. A 10-year-old. So when I see grown people not trying to get this information and I get frustrated, it's because I got 10-year-olds begging to get this information and they on every call. The only reason Nuno ain't on here today because he's just getting over a cold, but he'll be on here tomorrow. He got on his mentorship, learned so many things. He starts seeing what we was doing. Then he hit me up and was like, yo, Uncle Trap, can I learn? Can I teach? I got some stuff I can teach y'all. I know how to do this. I'm a YouTuber. I create content like this. I know how to edit videos from the phone, woo, woo. I'm like, of course. Now I got to pay him. Now he's an employee. I'm paying an 11-year-old to come on my mentorship and teach people this information. So real quick, Derek, man, why I got you on this joint, man? Because Derek is going to be on here tomorrow and he's going to share some information with us. But Derek, can you just share like the power of this movement that, you know, you just, somehow we just connected when I needed somebody to shoot this live event. Just explain to people like what this is really doing.
Life changing, y'all. You know, like he said, you know, we met at the event. I was the cameraman, and we're here in DC. He was dropping so much jewels, so so much information. I was like, man, bro, you don't even have to pay me. I'm good. And for a lot of people, sometimes we be online, and a lot of times we think we know, and we don't need help. A lot of the information that you may hear online, regurgitate, or stuff that you know is always a missing piece. It might just be one thing that you need to tie everything together. And a lot of times, like with me, that was my situation. I had a lot of information, but it was a couple little things that I was missing. And that was what was stopping me from evolving and getting to the next level. And the community, man, is just, it's different when you got a bunch of the same people with the same goals in mind, trying to get to the same places. So you bouncing ideas off of each other. And, it's like my man Cam G, he on the call. I get in and I do video work. So, I get in the rhythm sometimes where I don't feel like putting no content out. And then I come online and I'm like, man, my bruh dropping these jewels. Let me hit him with a video. I got to now. It's like we hold each other accountable. And the accountability is major when you're trying to rise up, because you're going to have your times where you're on the up, and then season might slow down, or something that you selling is not selling no more. So you got to figure out how to repackage. But when you got a group of like-minded people that's doing and pretty much the same thing, we're going to push each other. So when you don't have that community and you think that you're going to get out here and you're going to move without, like he said, without mentors, coaches, accountability partners, you in trouble out here. You're not going to grow. Because I literally was running 3 businesses and not knowing what I'm doing. And just one little piece of information just changed the dynamics of everything I was doing. So, like I said, sometimes it's just, you could pay $10,000 to get in a mentorship, and everything you learn, you already knew, but it's going to be one thing that you learn that's going to change the dynamics of everything that you're doing.
Telling you, life changing, y'all. Life changing. But he found a way to add value. So I take that and I do the same thing now. When I can add value for free, when I can give somebody something they willing to pay for, sometimes their money ain't good enough to me, right? I got a relationship with the credit plug, and I give him game all the time. I help him. I'm helping him.
I'm gonna just mute up real quick.
Yeah, make sure y'all mute it. Make sure y'all mute it. Like I'm helping him make so much money right now. He like, yo, like he tries to pay me, and I'm like, bro, your money ain't no good to me. Like, I want some game. How you making these hundreds, thousands a month doing what you doing? I'm not doing that. So if I can add that and just make an extra 10 a month, I could change a lot. I get a Lambo, I can retire my mom. I just need an extra 10. You know what I'm saying? And this is why you got to mix with these type of networks and these type of people. Right? So paying for mentorship literally what changed my life. I told a lot of y'all, I paid my first $5,000 for a mentorship September 2020. That changed my life. A lot of people that's on this call, I met in that mentorship. It literally put me in a room and a community with the right people who wanted to better themselves, the people who want to be a better version of themselves, the people that didn't want to just settle for a job, the people who wanted to make $100,000 a month, right? People always ask me, like, how do I know the right people? How do you know everybody? How do you got the plugs, cheat code, pay to get in the room, right? And then I ain't coming in there regular. So when I pull up, my car ain't regular. When I walk in, I don't look regular, right? People be like, oh, I ain't with the flashy stuff. Hey, I use it to my advantage. It's going to set me apart. And when people see it, they're gonna be like, damn, he doing something. Let me see what he got going.
I'm gonna need you to mute up.
Hey, somebody got to stay muted or they about to get booted.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, yeah, you about to get booted. All right. So look, you're going to have to invest. The cheat code is paying for the information. Make sure you pay for the information. One second, I'm trying to share something.
Listening to Jeremy is how your ass gonna keep eating juicy crab. How you know?
It's all. Hold on, my screen not sharing. I don't know why I'm getting an issue right now.
And there's some robots on here or something, boss. I don't know what the fuck going on.
Hey, for real. This
Fuckers hacking shit.
This shit crazy.
Cal, I was thinking the same thing.
My
Type
God.
in goofy. We don't do this. Hey, get off the call if y'all on bullshit. This man really giving his time. For real.
You already know KMG.
Absolutely, it's a bunch of.
Jeremy, I like what you're doing, but you gotta let some of these people go, my man.
Hey, but this, you know, this what happens when you do the free stuff sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Look, then take us off this stuff.
No, bro, keep going, man. That's just the devil, man. You know, he don't want nobody getting, this information, bro.
Hey, you
The devil in Roblox.
Keep going.
Yeah, because I'm saying, who the hell in here trying to tell my home to be quiet? Like, dismiss yourself, please.
Word.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all, for real.
Hold on, what I missed? What happened?
One second. I'll try to pull this PowerPoint back up.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
What's happening? It is not letting me share this. What's up, Clutch?
Yo, hey, if y'all on here for free, this has never ever happened in a mentorship, in any mentorship I have ever been in. So like, y'all should feel honored, like 100%, because this has never ever happened. And I done been in like about 5 mentorships, and like, I know I invited some people on here, and I hope it ain't got nothing to do with me, but
Like if y'all on here for the free ski, man, y'all better take in because this is the first time in history I've ever seen this.
Hey, look, we got so much.
Thank you, because that I'm telling you, yeah, Jeremy, you doing real good.
Look, we
You
got so
doing
much.
real good.
We got so much game. We might have to make this another day because man, when I put Jose on this joint, like man.
Hey, Jeremy, I'm gonna need you to mute your mic.
Why this joint is not letting me pull this joint up right now?
Kyle, what the hell you looking at?
All right, that's a bot. I can't share my screen right now. So look, I'm gonna try to fix this, but I do got my guy on so we can keep going with this information. Give me 1 second.
I was about to say, bro, we got the technical difficulties. We could definitely hit that joint in the end too, to make sure. Shout out to everybody who holding it down. Shout out to everybody who's sticking. Shout out to everybody in the mentorship. Like we about to, this ain't a game for real, for real. Hey, actually, you know what? Shout out to the haters too. You know what I'm saying? We got love for the haters too. You know what I'm saying? Always.
Let me put this setting on real quick.
Say if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping.
Well, you already know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bet. Look, hey, we're gonna get started, right? I don't know what game Jose gonna share with us tonight, but it's gonna have something to do with building your brand. I hope y'all did y'all homework, right? Because I know he gave y'all some homework. I seen some people working. I seen Gary working. Gary, can you just share with us? I seen you took that assignment and you made something happen, Gary. Go ahead, unmute.
Hey,
What's up?
can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good afternoon. Yeah, well, good evening. So yeah, I took it to heart. Like I told you, in the background, you know, I'm back, and I'm coming with a vengeance. So, you know, hide your kids, hide your wife now. But I'm coming back, y'all. It is what it is. Yep. Love you too, G. But yeah, Jeremy I have been there since the beginning, basically. So, you know, I'm rocking with it. If he go right, I'm going right with him.
Tell him what success you done had with this mentorship, Gary.
So I retired. That was the biggest thing.
Hold on. When did you join this mentorship and when did you retire?
I joined in late February. And then I was on for months straight, like months. Like I was here eating up the information. I was here for months. I couldn't let it go. I had to learn something new every month. Every month I was doing something new. I did my funding sequences. We had put a goal together. I said I'm gonna have about 500,000 by the end of the year in funding. Like we had a roadmap, and the roadmap was going very well. I just had a kid this year. So I had to slow down a little bit. So that's why I said the roadmap. So I had to slow down. So if y'all wondering like what happened? You said it was a roadmap. That's what happened. But guess what? I'm back, and I'm back on track. Like today, I just went and moved around, you know, about 30,000, something like that. You know, I did 6 banks. It is what it is. That is light work. When you do what it is that I do, that I learned how to do. well, actually maximized on doing it from Jeremy, you know, so hey, if you here, you need to learn the information. And the whole thing is they call me Miss Run the Play Guru out of Trapper's Way Out, because I runs all the plays. I'm gonna let you know, hey, yeah, it ain't working. That's no good. Yep, people in it, yep, she does. I run all the plays. So you'll see me. I've been a little slow lately, but I've been posting back lately. Jose, he always get you together, get you in the right
Look,
mindset. It is
hold up.
it's the mindset.
I'm mad. I'm mad because I didn't know you were you on IG, and I messaged you. I said, "Yo, send me your Cash App, bro." So we can either do the Cash App or we get a session in. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do a session. And
I want
the
a
main reason,
session.
actually, yeah, let's get it. Look, real talk,
I
man.
don't want the cash app. I know how to move the cash. I need to make
There
more
it
cash.
is. She worked and she been putting in that work, and I was a little confused. I was like, "Wait, is that?"
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's me.
And I
moved
messaged you too.
I moved 160,000 in a week through the banks. That's me. It took me a minute to build up and get to it, to make the money move and make the money work. Yep, I do it. We move the money.
Hey, look.
And it's thanks to Jeremy. If you don't know how to move the money, you ain't gonna be no good. It takes some money to make money. So if you got to pay a little bit of some fees to get you a couple hundred from different banks, I run all the plays. I do funding. I know how to get 50,000. I know how to get 100,000. I know how to get 200,000. It's all about what you're gonna do. What you're gonna do with the money. You gotta have a plan. And my background is in accounting. So, and I'm in Detroit. So we move the money.
Hey, she killed it.
We're gonna be moving it together soon.
Oh, there go my boy Wes.
My dog Wes. we gonna hear from Wes, but look, she not only quit her job. This is why you gotta learn this like you gotta learn other skills outside of work. She quit her job right after she learned this information, started multiple businesses. She got a tax business going. She doing MS. She got a mentorship. She started Toro. I don't know what else she got going, but she started
I forgot all about my cars. Yeah, I bought 2021 cars, 0.99% interest rate. It's about getting that credit together. They don't call him the credit kingpin for no reason. He teaches. If you not learning, the whole thing is you got to do it. We had a session before, like one of our first sessions I ever learned from Jeremy, and it was about your mindset, getting your mind together and making sure that you implement these plays within 24 to 48 hours. So that's all I ever did when I came with Jeremy. I didn't pick a bunch of stuff to do. Why I say I came back every month. I picked one thing or two things and I focused on just those couple things. And then I moved on. I didn't just say, okay, let me try to do everything. You can't do everything. You got to do what you can do and pick and choose and see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And, as you know, I retired from the IRS. So that was a good job. If you Google me, you'll see all the stuff that I did in the Metro Detroit area, which is teach kids tax law, put 2 IRS tax sites inside of Detroit public schools. So, hey, I am the truth. When I first met Jeremy, I thought he was a fake. I thought he was a fraud because they kept shutting his Instagram account down. Remember that, Jeremy? Yeah. This is me and Jeremy's story. I came up to him like, yo, if you run off with my money, like, I'm gonna come looking for you because they keep shutting your dang on accounts down. What's up? So I paid my money for his mentorship, and y'all, it was nothing back then. I can't even, all the money I done made off Jeremy.
Hey, it's robbery, ain't it?
Yeah. It's straight robbery.
Rob me.
Yeah. All the money I done made off Jeremy, all the stuff I didn't learn, like, I was like, dang, they didn't shut his Instagram account down. So he faking, he's stealing people money. I can't do it. And I got on the phone with him. He told me, I'm like, all right. And then guess what, y'all? He was the real deal Holyfield. It was it. We've been locked and loaded since then. You got to go to the events too. Cause I went to the events and boom, bam. When I came from the event, I met him 500. Like he brought a bunch of people. Van Taylor was in the room. That meant they just was pulling up. Like it was like a celebrity. They was my celebrities to me. Because guess what? In the building, we was learning how to make money. So that was the whole point, making money. Like when you go somewhere, you need to learn how to make the money. It ain't worth it if you ain't learning anything. And you learn so much stuff from out of Jeremy's mentorship. It's ridiculous, but you can't do just once. Like Jeremy sent recordings too back then. I don't know if he's doing it now, but back then he sent recordings. I have never watched now one recording. The recordings ain't like the live. Like, so, you know, and my mentees too, like I got recordings for them, but nobody really ever watches because it's nothing like being live, you know, actually being able to interact. And the whole thing is I interact, you got to interact to even get going. But yeah, Jose, yeah, hit me up, man. I'm coming for that.
Oh no, we already doing that.
Hey, y'all definitely need to connect because hey, Jose got course.
Yes,
Jose
that's what I want. I was just talking about Jose. I was just telling my mom, I'm like, man, I've been meaning to hook up with him. I'm like, Jeremy taught me that when I was doing my mentorship to have these recordings. I have a library of recordings too, but I don't got any compared to what my mentor got. But Jeremy, I love you. Thank you so much for allowing me just, you know, to have the time to speak to your new crew.
Hey, people asking for your IG, so make sure you drop your IG in the chat.
I sure will.
Please do, love. I would drive to you just to be a second. Look, Jeremy, I love you, but she gonna be my sub mentor. I'll drive.
Oh no, she'll be. I'm telling you,
like literally every 2 weeks from Ohio, I will literally drive to her.
And I got people coming from Miami to come see me. I showed this girl how to make $10,000 in one day.
I'm telling you, she kill it. That's why y'all gotta get this game. When you get the game, you're gonna implement it, you're gonna make money from it, but then you make money off teaching it. So just like you paid for it, somebody else is gonna pay for it from you. Before we bring Jose on here real quick, I just wanted to shout out my guy Wes. Wes, you still on this drink?
Yeah, Jeremy, my bad. Yeah, I'm trying to get somewhere to quiet it.
My dog Wes, what's up, bro? I just wanted
What's
to
good?
you know what I'm saying, welcome Wes, introduce y'all to Wes. Wes is currently incarcerated, joined my mentorship. He's been in my mentorship for probably like, I don't know, how long you been in here, Wes?
I've been with you since 2020, January 2020.
January 2020.
Yep.
And he in jail, literally running these plays from jail. Wes, from this mentorship, what businesses have you been able to run and make money with while you incarcerated?
So I have I took the information from your mentorship and I built my credit repair service, whatever. So now I have a full operation credit repair service that I run on automation. I have up to 8 VAs that run my credit repair service, whatever. And I also have a truck company that I built from right here on the inside from German mentorship.
Dog, tell them about the funding, man. I know you got credit cards. Come on, dog. Like you doing so much, you leave the shit out, dog.
My bad. So also, man, once I got into German mentorship or whatever, right? You know, first I had to wait until my my profile get fixed up with it because I was going through a divorce when I first got incarcerated. So, you know, I had just bought my wife a brand new car when I had came to prison. So she hadn't got up to like 17 late payments on the car or whatever. So like they kind of had me like in default. So, you know, I'm sitting back in the class and I'm watching Brittany and everybody else run these plays or whatever. It was kind of hurt to me at first because I couldn't get no money. You know, I'm seeing them, they getting $25,000, $30,000, $50,000, you know, credit cards or whatever, man, and loans and stuff, whatnot, man. So, you know, I sit in the class and I absorb the information that Jeremy was getting or whatever. And I started fixing on my credit report once I had learned the information about how to remove and take things off my credit report, remove the 24 hours inquiry, whatever, was something that my parents wasn't even aware of or whatnot, because, you know, I remember the time that my father used to go get vehicles or whatever. He used to be like, man, I get this vehicle with no money down, but he still didn't understand, like, okay, man, they just put a bunch of inquiries on your credit report or whatever. So, you know, at that time, whatever, like, you know, he had a bunch of inquiries on his report. So, man, like removing the inquiries, I see that can be a major factor when it comes down to getting loans and stuff. So I learned all the information or whatever, man, that Jeremy actually taught me and whatever and gave me whatnot, man. And inside of prison, whatever, man, I done got up to almost like 100 grand right now in funding or whatever. So, you know, right now with me to be inside a prison or whatever, like I definitely want to say, man, shout out and thanks to Jeremy, whatever, because I'm one of the guys, and it's no bragging or nothing like that, whatever, but I literally don't have to walk out of prison or whatever, searching for a job to get on nobody else's platform to make them rich or whatever, you know? So, you know, I really invest into myself or whatever. And then by me investing into myself, whatever, it really changed my life around for me to be able to really walk out of prison, never had to take a look back at the streets or whatnot. So, you know, I really want to thank God for the opportunity to be able to join this mentorship because it really changed my life from the inside or whatever, right? But I'm really waiting to get out to really explore everything that I actually learned from this mentorship or whatever. And along with that or whatever, like, this is another gem or whatever, man, because Jeremy really set me free. And y'all probably don't know nothing about this or whatever, but you know, I'm serving a 20-year mandatory year sentence. And you know, they suspended 15 was 5 days. You know, I'm serving a current idea right now. No good time, no nothing or whatever. I gotta serve the whole 5 years or whatever, you know? But my time is actually messed up on my time sheet. So, you know, the people don't really know that I'm supposed to be getting out in my 5 years or whatever. So they got me getting out in 2031 or whatever. So, but, you know, we ain't gonna get discouraged about that or whatever, right? Because what we did on the inside, Jeremy brought another mentor on the call or whatever, right? And I was able to pay $25,000, right? Because I faithfully believe in OPM, which is other people's money or whatever, right? That's my true belief or whatever. So I was able to establish my credit, build up, get the money, whatever. Now I just paid these people $25,000 to get my trust built. So look, if y'all don't understand nothing about the trust, man, y'all definitely need to get a hold to the trust because the trust is what's freeing me right now, right? Because I'm reclaiming myself and I'm letting the people know that I'm a living person. They got a living person inside of their prison and they got to move me out. I just signed my trust yesterday. I mailed it out. Now my trust headed to the Secretary of State. My next step or whatever is to get my nationality paperwork, which is going to change my nationality or whatever, right? And then soon after that, the nationality paperwork has been signed and sent back to the minister. Look, it's any day now, y'all. So that's why I want to tell Brittany, like any day we're going to be running these plays, you feel me? And I definitely got a lot of money to move around as well. But look, I don't want to hold this call up because guess what? The bottom is way too crowded. And I hope I see all of y'all ass at the top because guess what? I got to get up there myself, man. I appreciate each one of y'all for joining this call, man. And please take this information, man, and go to the next level with it.
Hey, Wes, I appreciate you. And y'all, look, I let Wes join this mentorship for free because we had a mutual friend and I just wanted to help him out when he been rocking with me. Wes hit me up recently and was like, yo, I want to help building out my mentorship. I'm about to send you 20. And I was like, what? He was like, I'm about to send you 20K. And I'm like, nigga from jail? He was trying to send me $20,000, right? Just to show him what I already do. And I was like, dog, I want to be the one to give you the information, but I just paid $50,000 to another mentor to learn how to better give you that information. So I do want you to deal with me, but I'm not all the way ready. So let me refer you to where I'm going and we can learn together. We're going to learn together. Wes, how much money did you invest in mentorship from jail this year?
Yeah, so that mentorship right there alone was 50K or whatever that I had just got into the Millionaire Closing Academy or whatever, man. And Jeremy, matter of fact, last night we was getting ready for the close in on all that or whatever, man. So I'm completing my chapters right now, whatever, to be able to go ahead and launch my programs and everything that I have to offer to help more people out or whatever, because like it's so many people in the world that need help. Like right now, I'm inside of a prison right now with a bunch of guys or whatever. And when I say none of them understanding the information that we are talking about right now about credit or whatever, like they just lost or whatever, man. So like, and it's really a sad thing what I'm not really talking about it, but it's some sad shit because like you got a guy that's in prison beside you that done got over almost $100,000 in funding or whatever, and nobody absorbing the information or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Their mindset is to leave prison, whatever, go get a job or whatnot. So, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, like I say, I'm almost finished with my platform. So by the time I walk out of prison, my platform that I'm actually building on this mentorship right now is it's gonna be lit, man. So all I can tell y'all is just watch the movement and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I know a lot of people can't really see what I'm doing because I'm in prison with her, but man, I'm building. Trust me, I'm building, and it's gonna be lit when I walk out.
Wes, drop your IG in the chat, bro, so people can see what you really doing. This man really, this man went and got a backdrop. He got the backdrop in jail, his company logo in between the bunk beds. He's shooting videos, don't care where he at, because you got to document your journey. Like, a lot of people is waiting for the perfect time to start telling their story. You want to wait till you get out of the shit you in and start telling people your story. No. When I was losing 200,000 in real estate, when I was getting fired from jobs, I was documenting it. I was like, yo, I'm losing money. I'm getting robbed. Yo, I'm getting fired. I'm not scared. That you got to be vulnerable and put your story out there. And then when people see you climb out of that, they be like, damn, I remember when he said he was going to win from losing. I remember when he said he was going to overcome this. So no matter where you at, you got to be willing to be vulnerable, tell your story, and get up out the mud, y'all. And Wes is a living example that if he can do this mentorship from in jail, get funding, start a credit repair business, do a funding business, run a trucking business, learn how to leverage. It's people on this call right now that Wes is helping them clean their credit up, and he's in jail. I went to another brunch, and my homeboy out here was like, yo, the only person that helped me with my credit is your boy Wes that's in jail. I was like, what? I was like, Wes helping you too? God, how Wes built all these relationships? But it's because when Wes joined my mentorship, all these other people joined my mentorship, and they got to connect. And that's the power of the mentorship. It ain't just about the information. It ain't just about making the money. It's about the relationships. Relationships are more than money. I built so many relationships and added value to so many people that I don't need money. My money don't even do me no justice when I go certain places, because certain people ain't gonna let me pay for nothing. Certain people feel like they owe me. Gariel just told you she felt like she robbed me because she got my mentorship for $1,500. And people didn't want to pay it back then, right? And you see these people literally getting their life changed. But we got some game to drop. We probably, like, depending on how much we cover tomorrow, we might got to have another call on Monday. It's just too much information. I couldn't pull the slides up.
That's good right there.
So yeah, we probably gonna have to do another day, man. We probably gonna. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna need a whole day myself to really go in, y'all. So Jose, we got some people that definitely did the homework assignment. I seen some people. People was texting me. They was like, "Yo, that exercise Jose had me do. This is what I needed. This is what I." So man, I definitely appreciate that. I don't know what you got for us today. But man, I'm about to let you rock, man. That one deep looking mighty fresh. Looking mighty fresh.
Right, we good. Look, as I'm even sitting here, right? Make sure though you can hear me, right? I want to make sure we good.
You sound perfect.
Right, give me that. Go ahead, hit me with that co-host joint too. Let's go ahead and get this thing rocking. Y'all know how we do. What is going on, beautiful people? Jose, black dude with a Spanish name. I got the hood on right now, and the reason why I got the hood on for real, it got to a point where it's like, yeah, I saw the bots. I saw the people talking smack. I saw the different things in there. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna spotlight this joint too. And then we got my guy Wes to come on. And shout out to Wes doing the trust. Actually, the dude's doing the trust. I actually coach him as well as far as his brand. But we got my man in jail. We got my man in a prison. And there's a lot of us in our own prisons right now. Whether it's, we call it our 9 to 5, whether it's that space where you going through medical bills, where you going through that car payment, that transmission that's coming up, that came up broke, that engine failure, you're going through tax situations, you're going through something, yet at the same time, we still got excuses. I was talking to people today, right? And I was talking to people, and a lot of people who are in this space, they're talking about, man, this joint a scam. They're making all their excuses for the other side. Yeah, we got living testaments and living testimonies of people who are making excuses as far as for the right side or having reasons for the right side. So I'm asking you, what prison are you in? It made me think about it real quick. I'm gonna share my screen. This wasn't even part of the joint, but I added it while I was on here, while I was in here listening, right? So we got the brand mastery stuff, but that's cute and everything like that. I'm gonna actually go backwards. I did a study. I did this thing called neuro-linguistic programming, and one of the things that we looked at in neuro-linguistic programming was just how we think and how we move. And I had to look at it because I was one of those people. If you look at the diagram, it got successful people and you got unsuccessful. Well, let's talk about the unsuccessful because I was one of them. And success is relative. It could be money. it could be family, it could be your faith, it could be your fitness, like anything you're looking at. But what happens is unsuccessful people, when our backs are against the wall, we then focus. Like, nah, I got to get focused. I got to get right. I got to make sure everything that I'm doing is right. And then we take forth an action. We take that action and then we say, okay, now I'm going to set the goal. And then we do the release work. The release work is the most important thing. The release work is that baggage, right? I notice even with my son and even with my kids or what have you, my son is a high level entrepreneur making $1,500 a day. Actually coaching Jeremy on stock options trades at 19 years old. And a lot of times he would say stuff to me and I'd be like, nah, we can't do that. And then I'm thinking, why? Because he don't have the baggage. He ain't got all the years and everything and so I started looking at it. It was successful people. What they do is we're going to do the release work first. We're going to release the baggage, that pain that you got for somebody who did you wrong, that person who did you wrong as far as on your job, that job that you hold, that person you haven't forgave, right? That situation, even within yourself that you have not forgiven. Like, we got to do the release work. We got to remove the baggage. I don't know about you, if you ever been in, definitely an ATL airport, where you got to go walk up to the counter with all your bags, and then you going up there to check it. But you walking in there with 3 or 4 bags. You got a backpack. It's hard. But that one person with that light backpack, they moving through. Release work. Or if you're taking out the trash, the more bags you have, you got to drag them. You got to do all these different things just so you could leverage it and throw it over the bin. But a lot of us, we got a lot of trash. We got a lot of things, right, in that space. So I had to get that one off. But we talking about it, man. We getting it. And so the successful people, again, we got the release work. They then set the goals. They put the action in place, and then they focus. So I don't know who I'm talking to. I know for real, I'm talking to the old me, to be honest with you. I'm talking to the old me. But we're going to stop making excuses. Why you can't do the mentorship. You're going to stop making excuses why you can't join the program. Stop making excuses why you can't do, like, we removing all excuses. For those who were on yesterday, y'all know excuses are a sophisticated lie. So who are you lying to? Me, you, or both of us? Sorry to get that out. Let's get it, yo. Brand Mastery Part 1. This is Part 1. And the main reason is this thing goes crazy when we talk about a personal brand. Shout out to all my people in the credit space. Shout out to all my people in the tax space. Shout out to all my people who might be in the fitness space. All my people in the truck and the logistics. Shout out to all y'all. Here's the thing about it. Whatever you do, there's an aspect or a foundation of a brand that has to be established. That's where the money resides. Everybody y'all rock with, whether it's on social media, whether it's on TV, whether it's on YouTube, you rock with them based off of a brand. For those who asked yesterday, all right, I'm sorry, I'm not one of the ones to toot my horn, but shout out to YBBO, Brittany, Gariel, like literally we about to get rocking. Why? Because she said I did the work. She tagged me. She was in the DM. She's like, yo, I'm getting to the work. She been getting to the work. But she said, oh, I'm going to take this thing a step further. And so now we're going to get it in. We're going to make it happen. So real quick, in the chat, I want to know, in Brand Master, what do you think is a brand? What is a brand? What is a brand? Specifically a personal brand. What is a brand? Talk to me. Just put in the chat, what is a brand? What is a brand? I'm watching the chat. I don't see it going just yet, but I know y'all typing. We out here. You know what I'm saying? We out here. What is a brand? What is a brand? If you hear the word brand, do you think of logos? You think of like the color scheme? You think of the hairstyle? What do you think of when we talk about a brand? Okay, representation, a brand representation who you are. I love it. Yup. Okay, y'all already been on mentorships. I already said we high level. I always say the easiest way is a brand is an emotional response from other people based on you. Again, y'all already know, just like yesterday, I need y'all to type in the chat, I am the brand. I am the brand. Type it in the chat, I am the brand. Write it on your notes, put it on your iPhone, whatever, on that notebook that you got or whatever. Put it at the top, I am the brand, underline that thing. So again, the brand is the emotional response from other people based on you. There's a feeling, right? Even if we think about a regular brand, I always think about Pepsi. Right. And some people have a different feeling when it comes to Pepsi. For me, every time I go into a store and I see a Pepsi, I think about my grandma. Why? Because when I went home to my grandma's house, she said, first, you better not bring no Coke up into this house. We're talking about soda. She said, you better not bring no Coke in this house. And then up at the top shelf, she used to have these glass bottles that was catching dust. They were collector's items. And again, there was a feeling that comes across when I see Pepsi, whether it's the commercial, where I see it in the grocery stores, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's a feeling that comes. And see, what happens is it's going to be an emotional response to you specifically on what you do in this space based off of what you do. And it's based off truly your level of mastery. We talk about the level of mastery. And everybody, we talked about it briefly yesterday, you are a master. All right, so let's get into it real quick. All right, make sure we're clicking that. So we got brand mastery, and then we say, I'm the brand. I always start with this story. Shout out to those in the mentorship who actually heard this story before, but we gonna rock. I'm a father of 5. My oldest is 19. I got my daughter who's 17. I got a 15-year-old, 14-year-old. My youngest actually passed away at 5 years old. She would be 13 right now. But I always say that because it was at one point, 3 years ago, when my son, CEO Ashawn, he almost passed away. Let me show you CEO Ashawn real quick.
Oh, we can't hear it. We can't. I don't think we can hear it, Jose.
Oh, you can't hear it?
Nope.
Let's do it like this. Here we go. I'm glad that worked. That didn't work that way, because we're gonna do it this way. I figured that was gonna happen. We're gonna do it just like this.
I show you a certain side of who I am. Like I show you like a good side or a bad side, whatever, but it is a part of who I am. That's just me operating in me, but I'm operating out of respect or out of what I think about that environment. But if I say everywhere I go, I got to be this, or I got to put a face on to make sure that everybody else is good and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm not being truthful and I keep holding that in, that's not good sometimes, because at the end of the day, it does get, you really put you're lonely, because now you're first off, you're looked at as perfect. So now people don't even want to help you because they think you got it together. But in reality, you need help. So now it's like, they're not willing to give you help because they think you're perfect. You're not willing to show that you're not perfect to get help. So now you're alone.
So that's my 19-year-old son. He literally been doing entrepreneurship since he moved to Atlanta with me for about 1.5 years now. Doing about 12 to 1,500 a day, doing stock options trading, teaching at a high level. He teaches on this mentorship as well, giving the game, teaching Jeremy some things, going in, they're doing one-on-ones. But I always tell the story, it was roughly 3 years ago, Ashawn almost died, right? And being that I had lost a child already, it was a serious situation, right? It was really serious because I was like, yo, I can't go through this again. I promise you, I cannot go through this again. And so what happened was, the crazy part, let me see if I can go back as far as to the joint. Oh, there we go. This is Sean when he was a baby. Oh, I don't know if it's not sharing the screen yet. Hold up, let me go back real quick. All right, here we go. Boom. Make sure, I forgot I was outside of Zoom and I'm using this other jump. All right, here we go, right here, keynote. All right, this is Sean when he was a baby. That's me holding him. And if you notice on that third picture over to the right, he has on this dog tag. And this dog tag basically said, hey, I'm Ashawn. I'm allergic to virtually everything. Dogs, cats, nuts, peanuts, crabs, shrimp, like fish, like anything you could possibly think of. It almost went from front to back. But one day, as Ashawn was coming home from football practice, he came home and he asked his mom and he said, Mom, I'm hungry, right? And I'm trying to get some chicken. She was like, all right, go in the kitchen, get the chicken, what have you. So he gets the chicken right out the refrigerator. He got some string beans and some rice. He gets that, and he actually puts it on the plate, puts it in the microwave, bing, 2 minutes, sits down, slathers it with barbecue sauce. I have taught my kids to put almost barbecue sauce on everything. So he sits down, says his grace, and he starts to eat. And as he was eating, the first time he took the bite of the chicken with the barbecue sauce, he was like, yo, something don't feel right, don't taste right. So he went to the string beans, went to the rice, took a drink, and went back as far as to the chicken. And the second time, he was like, all right, something ain't right. He felt his throat starting to close up. So he tells his mom, he's like, Mom, I don't know, something wrong with the chicken. She was like, oh my God, Ashawn, you had the fish. So she rushes home. She gets him into the car, and they head over to the Patient First. Shout out to all my people in DMV, Patient First in Clinton, Maryland. And then also shout out to the women real quick. Because as they're driving, right, as far as to the Patient First, he's throwing up in the car. And I promise you myself, if I was driving him, we'd be 2 throw up dudes in the car. I got the weakest stomach on earth. He's like, Jose, why are you telling me this? Let's rock with me for a minute. So they get to the patient first, they rush him in there. They had 5 doctors and 4 nurses. They ain't have to wait, they ain't have to fill out anything. And what happened was they was like, yo, we need to be able to do something for this gentleman. We gotta do something for this kid. So I rush in at the same time as stepdad. I run to the back, and I remember I said I have the weakest stomach on earth, right? He was spitting up in this blue bag, and where I was like, yo, I gotta leave out. So I had to step out because I was about to throw up again. I told you I got a weak stomach. So I come back in and I was like, all right, cool, what's going on? They was like, all right, we got to rush him to Children's Hospital. So they rush him over to Children's Hospital. Now, if you ever seen anybody who has an allergic reaction, if you ever watch Hitch or what have you, my son, when I walked in there, he looked like Martin when he fought Tommy the Hitman Hearns. Y'all remember his face and all lumped up? They get him into the ambulance and they rush roughly 30 minutes into traffic and get him to Children's Hospital. We were up in the car. I get in the car, is with his stepdad, and we rush over to Children's Hospital. His mom get into the throw up smelly truck. Again, shout out to y'all women. I appreciate y'all for real. The throw up smelly truck, rush behind the ambulance. So we get there. He spends the next 72 hours in the hospital. But here's the thing about it. They saved his life. Now I always say again, this thing that we do in regards to level of mastery, right? We're not general practitioners. We are masters in the space. And the mastery that we do, right? We are out here saving people's lives. The mastery, that thing that we bring to the table, that brand gap, that space that nobody else is going to be able to occupy but you, we are a master in that space. So for 72 hours, again, that's Ashawn. His face was swelling down a little bit on there. That's me and his stepdad sleeping there. Again, 72 hours we spent in this hospital. But again, they saved his life. We saw the video. We see him out here killing in these streets, speaking on podcasts, going, doing mentorships, flying over. He's actually an international speaker now at 19 years old, doing it for a year and a half. So you're like, Jose, why are you telling me all this? Why are you telling me all this? Again, we're talking about the level of mastery. In the chat, I need you to put I am the brand real quick. I need you to put I am the brand. Here's the practical elements that I learned, even going through this, almost in the space where me almost losing my child again. This is what I learned, and then how I'm able to take this thing and pertain it to the level of mastery. One, we're looking at, we need to understand what's not in our wheelhouse. What's not in our wheelhouse. We will talk about what do you do, who do you serve, how are you different, right? We would talk about what do you bring into the space, but I need you to know right now, we need to understand what I don't do. You see, what happens is when we were at the patient first, there were 5 doctors, 4 nurses, probably hundreds of hours, well, actually hundreds of years of medical training. And somebody had the bright idea to say, hey, we cannot help him here. We need to get him to a master. And a lot of times we're in a space where we're trying to take each and every client. We're trying to take each. Jeremy just said, look, Wes tried to give him a 25 piece. He's like, nah, you know what? Let me get you to somebody who I can help you with. Let me send you off as far as to somebody who's going to be better suited for it. Because a lot of times we're in a space where we're trying to take every check. And we're doing a disservice, not only to the client, but to our brand. We're doing a disservice to ourselves because we just, look, you cannot survive and serve at the same time. If you're in survival mode, you're not going to be able to serve the people. But when we're in thriving mode, now I can serve the people abundantly. I came on here yesterday as well as today. I ain't got no offer. Why? Because I'm thriving in this space. And the thing about it, a lot of us, again, keep on making these excuses. What is not in your wheelhouse? Number 2, people will get to you. The people who need you will get to you. You see, what happened was, for those who are are acclimated with Clinton, Maryland, there's a hospital right across the street. Now, more than likely, they probably could have saved my son's life. But the doctor said, no, we need to go to the master. The doctor said, no, we got to get him to the Children's Hospital in DC. The doctor said, nah, you know what? This 30 minutes is going to be worth saving his life because we got somebody who's there who knows. And what happened is there's going to be people who are going to bypass other people in a similar lane as you. They're going to bypass almost on some duck, goose type stuff just to get to you. But again, you're not even believing in yourself. You out here believing in everybody else, watching them on social media, doing all these things, but you're not believing in yourself. The people who need you will get to you. They will bypass. Again, it was 3 or 4 different hospitals that probably could have saved my son's life, but they said, no, we got to get to the master. The last thing I learned, your fee is your fee. Your fee is your fee. This whole year, my whole thing has been free or fee. There ain't no discounts in between. It's fee or free. And your fee is your fee. You see, what happened was, thank God for insurance. The insurance for the patient first, while he was only in there for like 10 minutes, was like $450. Insurance paid for it, of course. The hospital bill, the one that saved my life, to save my son's life, was $43,000 and like 88 cents. Now, if I didn't have insurance, you think I would have had to come up with the money? Oh, you'll go to the doctors like, yo, I don't know. Can we bring it down a little bit? Can I do a payment plan? What about a discount? You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with bartering, but can I barter to save my son's life? No, when we talking about mastery, there's no negotiation. There's no negotiating with a master. So your fee is your fee. And when you get into this space, what will happen is people are not going to question what you're bringing to the table. So number one, again, let's go back. What's not in your warehouse? People will get to you. And again, your fee is your fee. All right, let's get this thing started. Again, I need you to type I am the brand in the chat. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it because there's still people out here not believing. We have people who ain't even do the homework. They was like, I felt like doing it, but they ain't do it. We got people who did do it and they already seeing results. Right? I am the brand. Put that thing in the chat. All right, real quick. You are a master. Again, master speaker absolutes. Again, whatever level that you're at, right? Whatever that you do specifically, you're going to speak in absolutes. There's a level of confidence that comes out. And then what happens is when I speak with a level of confidence, then there's a level of competence. People are like, oh, you know what? He know what he's talking about. To be honest with you, you truly can speak on something that you ain't even really competent about if you speak with a level of confidence. But masters speak in absolutes. I've learned this thing. I've tried this thing. Number two, masters have a profound understanding of a subject, specifically, like it gets to the point where it's like, yo, if you can't talk about something for 2 hours, I need you to keep learning. If you can't talk about it for 2 to 3 hours, I need you to keep learning. If people can't ask you real hard questions about that thing, I need you to keep learning. You're still a master at the level that you're at, but I need you to get into a space where now you have a profound understanding. Masters have the ability to teach others information, and then masters have the ability to change people, their situation with information. We got Wes he in jail. I promise you, that actually took me to another level. I've spoken at jails, and we actually about to work on the program, even with my guy Jeremy and my guy Mitch, as far as out here in Fulton County in the jail that I've spoken at a couple times, like literally changing their lives, right? Because again, if you are at home, you're working your 9 to 5, you're free. What's your excuse? All right, 3 levels of mastery. We have self-mastery, we have alignment, we have communication and understanding. I should have comprehension in there. Self-mastery, again, just understanding who you are specifically. We're going to get to the meat and potatoes. Alignment. Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing within my purpose? I always say your passion is what you want to do. Your purpose is what God wants you to do. And when we get these things in alignment, right? Or your gifts is what God wants you to do. When we get these in alignment, then we have our purpose. A lot of times we're working on our passions, but we're not utilizing our gifts. Here's the thing about it, our passions are fleeting. They go away. It's things I've been passionate about 5 years ago, I ain't passionate about today. Yet at the same time, if I'm constantly working within my gift, then I get those in alignment, then we're working on purpose. You understand, in regards to purpose, now we're talking about changing the world. That's how we get to the bag. That's how we get to the money. All right. We talked about the formula of branding, right? We got the education, entertainment, inspiration, and status. We went through that yesterday. We got screenshots. We went through it. We went through the value, right, of the levels of value. We got saves time, saves money, makes money, transforms lives. Now, here's the pinnacle of what I do and what I teach when we're talking about a brand, right? First off, who are you? Number 2, what do you do? Number 3, who do you serve? Number 4, how are you different? Then I put the other 2 with the ashes on it. What's holding you back and who do you do it for? So let's talk about the who do you do it for. Maybe you're doing it for yourself. Maybe doing this for your kids. I know everything that I do, everything that I've touched, every problem or everything that every person that I help, truly, it's a selfish reason because I'm doing it for my kids. Everything. Who you do it for? Maybe it's for your mom. Maybe it's for your auntie, your grandma who raised you. Maybe it's for your dad, whoever it is. Who do you do it for? And who's holding you back? And a lot of times we can look at the haters, we can look at the people who've been in the way, who's put up the blocks. But a lot of times we need to look into the mirror because it's us, ourselves that's holding us back. So let's jump into it real quick. You got that? We got the full joint. Who are you? Now, who are you is not what you do. Why? Because that's the second one. Who are you specifically? And I need everybody, again, this is your work. You're going to write down, who am I? Do not try to do this right now. I promise you that sometimes it takes me, when I'm doing this with somebody, we're doing this thing for weeks, because once we understand it, it's the foundation. We off to the races. We're putting our product service. We're doing all these different things, getting to the millions, right? I've literally created $4 million companies. I'm what they would call a paperwork millionaire right now. I'm gonna touch $1 million next year, or personally, but I'm a paperwork millionaire. The companies that I own had hit over $1 million. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm still good out here in these streets. But who are you? So who are you is the genesis of who you are, man. The DNA. What are your values? What are your belief systems, right? What are your the things that make you tick? I want you to write those down. You can write down the adjectives and everything. Oh, I'm a believer in Christ. I'm a Muslim. I believe in street code. It's a lot of different things. I want you to think about who you are as a person. Not what you do, who you are as a person. We get down into the deep of that thing. All right. That one, you could also ask other people around you, who you think the people think of you. Christ even said, who do the people say that I am? Next one. What do you do? Shout out to my guy changing his daughter butt or his son butt right now. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's not on mute. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the baby, the next generation. He's still not muted, but it's cool. Let me see if I can get him. There it is. All right, boom. Oh, no, they coming off. All right, so what do you do? Are you in taxes? Are you do credit, right? Is it in a space where I'm doing a physical fitness, right? Am I doing federal government contract? Am I doing stock options? Right? Am I a motivational speaker, inspirational speaker? What do I do specifically? I need you to write this down. Right? And so what do I do? We're trying to figure out this thing. And a lot of times what you think you do is not even what you do in general. I need you to think about, here's an easy way, or easy hack that we could use. We could figure out in regards to how the people we've helped, the quantifiable results of the people we help. What did you do for them specifically? That's what you do. All right, I want to get to the meat, right? This is one of my favorite. Who do I serve? We talked about it before on previous mentorships. One of the things that I used to always do as a client avatar, had an ebook, coaching calls, and everything about it. We would talk about, like, yo, as far as who would I serve, who's my client avatar, who's my perfect client? It's like, oh, it's Black women between the ages of 25 to 35. They went to school, they get their news from CNN, or maybe they get their news from Twitter. They got 2.5 kids or whatever. They're married. This is the amount of money that they making. And when I started to go deeper into this thing, first and foremost, I learned that all that for real is some BS. It's some BS. The main reason is because every person on here, right, when we get into our level of mastery, and some of us are already in our level of mastery, what we're doing, we are a pain reliever. We relieve pain. And pain does not have a demographic. Because I could go out there and say I relieve pain and I do something specifically. And if it's 65-year-old Karens that's coming to me, then it is 65-year-old Karens who I work with. Why? Because I actually work with specific pains. Pain doesn't have a demographic. You think about it like this. You go to a church and you're like, yo, pastor gave the best sermon of all time today. He was going in crazy. Pastor might have said one or two things that resonated with you. One or two things that might have stepped on that big baby toe. But at the same time, you got somebody else who heard something else and they like, oh, that was the best sermon. But it resonated with them because, again, he was attacking the specific pains. I have a whole teaching on this one by itself, the whole 12 donut theory and things of that nature. I don't want to go too deep because that's a whole nother story, a whole nother topic. This is only the part one. But who do you serve? Here's a easier way to figure out who do I serve. Again, we can go back to our quantifiable results. Let's figure out, is there a pattern of persons that I've worked with prior and we got some success with them? Okay, cool. You don't have no quantifiable results. Let's imagine somebody, right? We imagine somebody who has a specific pain. Maybe they're dealing with heartache. Maybe they're dealing with divorce. Maybe they're dealing with tax situations. Maybe they're dealing with credit profile situations. Maybe they're dealing with real estate situations. Maybe they got these different things. Okay, you know what? Now I'm going to create a person around them, a fictitious person. Or what I could do now is look in the mirror. What are the things that you were able to overcome? What were the pains, the hurdles, the situations, the obstacles you were able to overcome? Now all you're doing is talking to the old you. You see, I have an avatar. Her name is Sharita. She's 35, 2.5 kids. Again, she's divorced. Her kids are now back into school. They were doing the whole virtual learning for a long time that she got used to. During that time, she was able to jump into entrepreneurship. She's been in entrepreneurship for 9 months. Some of the situations she's dealing with, she's looking at social media too much, and she's like, yo, I could do better than them. But that's at the same time, not putting forth the effort. She's not going live. She's not putting out the content. She just feels in her heart of hearts that she's going to be better than everybody else who's out here jet setting, right? What's keeping her up at night, trying to figure out how to still be an entrepreneur, how to still be able to figure out how to monetize her expertise, right? What's also keeping her up at night, her kid's supposed to be ready for school in the next morning. What's also keeping her up at night, she's in between dudes that she's dating. They coming over and they trying to get the cookies. What's also keeping her up at night, she don't live in the most affluent neighborhood. So they got the sirens, we got people walking outside, we got the ambulances coming through. I know her. But more importantly, I know her pain. And here's the crazy part. Her name is Sharita. But really, all I'm doing is talking to the old me. That's it. I'm just talking to the old me. Matter of fact, I'm talking to Sharita now, or truly, I'm just talking to the old me. The things that I was able to overcome. And then now be able to put that same thing onto somebody else. And then now I have quantifiable results. Like I said in the call before, I'm not talking to my abilities. I'm only talking to my results. When Jeremy come on here talking about the mentorship, he's not talking about his abilities. He's talking about the results of the students who were able to go from A to B, B to C, B to like literally going to a point where they're actually going up levels. All right. How are you different? How are you different? You see, what happens is, first and foremost, when we figure out how we're different, there's no such thing as competition. I don't care if it's 1,000 people who are on a mentorship who do credit. When I figure out how I'm different in the space of doing credit, okay, cool. You know what? There ain't no competition. Matter of fact, everybody becomes a collaborator. I understand how I'm different in the space. I understand that, oh, your lane is your lane. This is my lane right here. Shout out to the people who might have seen my guy Jeremy with him 500, right? Like, oh, he got a mentorship, him 500 got a mentorship. There's a different lane, and they do collaborations now, jumping on the same stages. The mentorship is not the same. Not to say one is better or less, it's understand that there's a difference. Why? Because Jeremy knows who he's talking to. He understands the pain of each individual he's talking to in a different way that maybe him 500 somebody else, right? That's his lane. And 500, Marcus, same thing. His mentorship fits with somebody else. We have mentor or mentees that is in this group have their own mentorship. They figure out their lane. So how are you different? What is the gap? My coach used to always say, the gap is where the money resides. Because if I look at a group of real estate people, it's like, all right, well, I could just throw a hat into the audience and I can pick somebody who's going to help me out. No, but when I understand who is different, just like they understood about my son and saving his life, they was like, no, we're not going to Southern Maryland Hospital. No, we're not going to we're not Southern Maryland. I can't even think of that joint. Prince Frederick. We ain't going to none of these joints. We're going to Children's. So we understand how we're different. One of the ways that I look at it is gimmick. And I want everybody to write it down, right? You can write it down or whatever, and you Google it, and you actually look up the definition. What's your gimmick? I remember I came from the rap space, right? And we used to always think like, yo, having a gimmick, that was trash, man. You got a gimmick. But when you look it up, it says a trick or device used for gaining business popularity or notoriety, something like that. But it says a trick or device. So if it's an or, we take off the trick. A device used for notoriety. So every time you're going to see me with the hat to the back, unless I'm a little perturbed and I'm going to have the hood on. A young lady noticed me today. I did a college tour with my daughter. She was like, you black dude with a Spanish name? It's like, well, yes. It's like, yo. Why? She recognized there are certain aspects, even how I speak, that is a gimmick. I always say we become a caricature of ourselves. We figure out who we are. You ever been on the boardwalk and they're doing the little caricatures? The caricatures, if you got big cheeks, they're going to make the cheeks bigger. You got a big chin, they make the chin bigger. You got a big forehead, that's why I wear the hat all the time. Y'all don't even know I got a big monster forehead. But they make the forehead a 5 head. You got lower ears, they make the ears smaller. They're going to expound and 3x. And so what happens is when we understand who we are, we're going to 3x those greatness. We're going to 10x those greatness. And you become a caricature yourself. So every time that you show up, now it's a consistency thing. Now it's like, okay, you know what? I rock with this person and you're able to keep this thing going because it's still you. You're not being somebody else. And it's a lot of times people are in this space and they try to be somebody else instead of being them. So that's the high level overview. As far as with that one, I need you to understand who you are, what do you do, who do you serve, how you different. And literally, this is what I do right here. This is the pinnacle. We dig deep into it, but this is it right here. I need you to understand real quick. There's a difference between manipulation and influence. Again, manipulation is your agenda when you're communicating. Influence is their agenda. You see, I'm in here trying to influence. Yeah, you have an agenda, you have a want, you have a goal, you have a need, you have something that you're trying to establish in this space. My talk, my everything is about your agenda. I don't care. I'm good. I'm good. And when I'm not good, I'm going to get mentorship for it. But right now in this space, matter of fact, I'm great. What is in this space when you're communicating, is it going to be manipulation or influence? All right, I'm going to close these very quick. 3 reasons why nobody's buying from you. 3 reasons why nobody is buying from you. Number 1, they don't know you. I think about it. I guess you'd call it semi-church boy. I didn't grow up in the church, but as I got older, I was in the church. The one of the things in the Bible, they have the word know. K-N-O-W. And a lot of times in the Bible, when they say the word no, it's based off of talking about intimacy, sex, or what have you. So we're going to use the intimacy part. What happens is there's a space where people ain't buying from you. People are not rocking with you. People are not joining your tribe because they don't know you. There's no intimate. Literally, you're probably showing up. If you are showing up, first off, you're not consistent with it. But if you are showing up, you're not in the space of being vulnerable. You're in a space where you're a superhuman. You're in a space. One of the things I always talk about, Superman would be trash if he didn't have kryptonite because he would be OP or overpowered. And we got a lot of people who are showing up like they got it all together. And so what will happen is nobody's going to come to you to be in a space where they're going to give you any type of information. Yet at the same time, they might not even rock with you because, again, they can see this facade. Everybody got a BS meter. They don't know who you are. They don't know as far as what you bring to the table. They don't know as far as the products. They don't know the service. A lot of times we got people who are taking things that they learn on a mentorship or a webinar, copy paste, and then now they're going out there. And what happens is I call it LET, learn, execute, then teach. Learn, execute, then teach. But if you're talking about a sandwich, the execution is the big part. That's the meat in the middle. But they're doing the learn and then they're trying to teach it. And people seeing right through it. Because when people ask questions, something that ain't in your presentation, something that ain't on your IG live, something that ain't on your page, something that you're not even showing on your TikTok, and then you like, I don't know. They read through it because, again, you're in a space where you haven't learned it and then trying to execute on it. Now we got to teach. So they don't know you. I need you to understand they have to get into an intimate place where they feel like, yo, I know you. A lot of people who have been in this mentorship, they feel like they know Jeremy. They might not have met him in person. They feel like they know him. Number 2, 3 reasons why. They don't like you. They don't like you. I want anybody to think about, we could put this thing in the chat. Has there been anybody who is a close friend to you right now, yet at the same time, you might have hated them when you met them? Whether it's a coworker, somebody from college, somebody from school, all right, middle school, high school, whatever. Somewhere it could be the person you sleeping with tonight, where you hated this person. But now y'all in a relationship, or now y'all relate to each other. Now y'all close friends. See, we got people in here. Gary is like, look, my best friend. See, what happens is when we're talking about liking, right? Most people think this the basic, like, yo, I like. No, we're talking about I have something, you have something, there is a bridge. Either you have a pain, problem, obstacle, and I have a solution over here. Great. Now, the solution don't always have to be monetarily. It could be relational. It could be physical. It could be spiritual. It could be sexual. But there's a bridge. There's something, a common bond or a common interest that we were able to find to be able to connect that. So even if you say now we're best friends, there's a common bond. Maybe I went to somewhere and it was like, okay, you know what? We found a commonality between us. Maybe it's that person who you are now in a relationship. There was a common bond. There was a hate before, but now we're in a space where we are relating to each other or in a relationship. And that's the same thing in regards to our tribe and our people. Meaning that I have a solution. I have something. It could be entertainment, it could be educational, it could be inspirational, it could be status. I have a solution to your pain. So let's create this common bond. Let's create this bridge. And one of the reasons why is because they just don't like you. They don't know what you're offering. They don't know as far as the solution that you bring to the table. They don't know how you be able to help them, whether again it's through entertainment, inspiration, education, or stat. They don't know. And so what happens is now they can't like you. Now they can't be in the space to say, you know what? Okay, you know what? I could rock with this individual. So one of the 3 reasons they don't like you. The last one, they don't trust you. They don't trust you. You're not transparent. You're not authentic. You're not consistent. There's a lot of people say, Jeremy said, oh, I'm gonna do the free joint. I'm gonna hit him up. Well, we're gonna give him between 2 to 3 hours as far as per day. We're gonna give him another day. If he said we was gonna do it Monday and didn't show up as far as on Monday, we're gonna feel a certain way. If he said, oh, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna give this content, I'm gonna go live, I'm gonna do all these different things. It's a lot of y'all saying things that y'all gonna do, y'all started doing, but yet you did not be consistent with it. Right up the street is the Longhorn. I love when they got them shrimp baskets. I get the shrimp, I get the ribs, I get the fries on the side. I need to stop because I'm getting kind of healthy out here in these streets. Shout out to my extra regular dudes out in these streets. But a couple times they was like, oh, we ain't got no shrimp. Like, what? How you ain't got no damn shrimp? The lack of consistency made it, oh, I got to find somebody else who's going to feed that need that I have. I had to find somebody else because y'all not being consistent in the space. And then I left them for what, 3 to 4 months because I was like, nah, I can't do it. But then I called them back and they like, okay, we got the shrimp again. All right, well, I'm going to see. Because you already broke my trust. Think about as far as in a relationship. You might not have set rules to say, hey, you know, you need to be in the house by 9:30 or you need to be in the house by 10. There ain't no rules, but there's a unwritten rule or unwritten law. And when they stop coming in or start coming in late or not coming in as far as that night and coming in the morning, we're breaking trust. Oh, you moving different. It's something you've been doing, but you're not moving the same way. That even shout out to my women, that women's intuition, they're like, yo, something. But that same thing is happening with the relationships with our people, with our tribe. They don't trust you because 1, you're not being transparent enough. Number 2, you're not being consistent enough. You're in a space where you ain't even being authentic. You ain't even being the true you. You still out here trying to be somebody else. So all I'm asking for you now in that space is, okay, can I be true? Can I be authentic? Can I be me? Remember, we say I am the brand. That is just not a little fancy little catchphrase that I say. It's to the point where now you understand who you are in the space. Can you be consistent and say, you know what, I'm going to show up every time that I said I was going to show up. I'm going to create a level of consistency so now people will be able to trust. I remember back in the day when we had these TV shows, I used to watch Cosby and Different World on Thursdays, and I promise you one of the days that they don't show up, I'm pissed. I'm mad. Y'all might have podcasts that y'all listen to on a consistent basis, and then they don't show up or they miss a day or they go on vacation, and you mad, you're like, oh, there's something. Or it could be a program, episodic content that you already listen to daily, or you listen to as far as on your way to work or coming home for work, and they don't show up. You're like, yo, that lack of trust. Again, so going back, they don't know you. They don't like you. They don't trust you. I want to make sure today, because I did not do it, let's open up as far as for any type of Q&A real quick, because again, this was just the part 1 overarching piece. Again, featuring Jose _ If you start typing it, usually I pop up in that joint. But let's get it in these streets. Jeremy, you still on this joint, right? I couldn't see you, bro.
Yes, sir. I'm taking notes, dog. You all, man. You killing it, dog.
Look, man, this don't. I don't talk a lot about, but I'm gonna use Jason as an example. For those, shout out to the people who've done the federal code. I am Jason White _. We came from literally nothing as a brand, created a brand, created a program, a course, and the lives that have been changed. You literally just had a student last week get a $4 million contract. We had 2 teachers that get a 2.7, another one got a $2 million contract with the federal government. We got students that are leaving their jobs, like a lot of different things in this program. Yet at the same time, prior to even all these quote unquote wins, we had smaller wins that nobody knew about. Then we had to build the brand. And even within building the brand, we were able to do $1 million in 9 months without an ad, without anything, literally showing up. He had 450 followers when I met him. And he's just one of a handful. I always use him because they be like, oh, you could talk about the Eric Thomases you work with, the Inky Johnsons that you work with, the Hit 500s, the Neos, the Alice Good Energy, the Justin Owen, all these different people. You could talk about the Wall Street Trappers. Yeah, they already big. But you talking about somebody who came from zero. Like, there's no excuse. You have something, and think about it. Let's say he never showed up. The people who left their jobs, the people who are now able to provide situation at least on one contract for 4 to 5 years for their family and feed them. What if he never showed up? That's why I say this thing is life or death. Those people could have been going through something that you would never know. And there's people, and matter of fact, every person on this call is going through something that nobody will ever know. This is something that you only talk to yourself, maybe to your close friend, maybe to your God that you praying about. Money ain't the full answer, but at the same time, it make it a lot easier. It make it a lot easier as far as to deal with life. And you will have new devils, but at the same time, it make it a lot easier when you're not stressing out when that next check coming from. It is less. I told y'all yesterday, I got an 88% completion rate as far as naps. I did not get it today. I've been working. We've been doing college tours with my daughter. But at the same time, if I wanted to, I'm taking a nap. So we talk about that time freedom. But if you're not going to show up and stop making excuses as far as for the other side, oh, it's a scam. Oh, he already rich. Why am I going to give him more money? What? You hear what these students is talking about? It's like, yo, he ain't even asking for the money. It's like, oh, let me give you a 25 piece. That's crazy. He rich, I ain't gonna give him more money. You know how I know it though? I used to say the same thing 7 years ago. I used to say the same
thing, bro. That's why sometimes when people hate, I be like, you know what? When I was broke and had a poor mindset, not poor as in money, but poor means passing over opportunities repeatedly. When I was passing over opportunities repeatedly, I was like, yo, he probably a scam. I'm not making him rich. I'm not getting him paid. He already got money. I was a hater, dog. That's why sometimes I see it and I understand where it comes from. But once you get out that funk and you really start practicing this self-development, that stuff leaves you.
Bro, I don't even care no more. Like my mentors, they got bags. You know what I'm saying? One, my guy Jamal King, the 9 to 5 millionaire, he was probably the catalyst for me starting in this course space. We built out this course and we changed over 8,000 families with a real estate course. Did about $11 million with it. Prior to that, though, he was still up 250 M's. You would never know. Silent. And at the same time, he just retired as a police officer. He had over 400 or 500 doors in regards to real estate. Owned $1 million daycare. Owned $1 million security company. And when I first met him, I thought he was security himself. Old buff football playing looking dude. But at the same time, I still pour into him in regards to his brand. He pours into me in regards to the trust. Some of the stuff would be over my head. And I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and pay you something. And you're already super rich. Been in the house, got 2 clubs in the house. It don't even matter to all those different things. Indoor pool, tennis court, indoor basketball court, all these different things. Yet I'm still like, oh, you know what? Let me pay for the information. Because again, when we don't pay, you don't pay attention. And the level of investment doesn't always have to be money. It could be resources. But a lot of times people are trying to bring their resources to the table, but your resources are only of value to you. Most of the rooms I got in was based off of my own resources and the level that I bring to the table. I'm going to do this. This is what I do. This is what I do at a high level. I'm a genius in this space. Let me bring this to you. But the thing about it, I could bring it to somebody who is not in need of what I have right now, and that's not of any value. So if I'm not, I'm gonna have to pay. And a lot of times we're overthinking as far as what we bring to the table. Now, can we get to a place where we can think what we bring to the table is value? Yes, but we got to step out there. And a lot of us are sitting on our hands, watching on the YouTube. Yo, real quick, before we get to the Q&A, because we do got to do some Q&A. I used to watch this Asian dude, I forgot his name, but he had this drink called Six Pack Shortcuts on YouTube. Six Pack Shortcuts on YouTube. And I would watch him, and it got to the point where he was doing so good, I got a dopamine high, and I was like, I felt like I did the sit-ups. I ain't did near sit-ups, still got the full 1-pack joint. Yet at the same time, I'm watching him do these sit-ups, and in my mind, my mentality got to a point where I felt like I did it. I got the same feeling as if I did the sit-ups. I get the same thing if I did the planks, the burpees, and all this other stuff, but I didn't do anything. And it's a lot of us who are watching webinars. It's a lot of us who are on these mentorships. It's a lot of us who are doing these things on YouTube, and you feel like you're doing it. You're getting the same feeling as if you did it, but you haven't did anything, and you wonder why the joint ain't working. You ain't started. Said it yesterday, commit first, understand the rest later. A lot of us ain't committed. That's why I still got a 1-pack. Jeremy, we hitting the gym, dog.
Yes, sir.
I need at least a 4-pack. You know what I'm saying? Again, shout out to all the extra regular dudes out in these streets. We still holding it down. Yo, being extra regular is crazy when you go to the beach. I promise you either got to be fat or you got to be skinny. When you in the middle, it's trash. Man, shout out to my extra regular dudes, yo. We ain't playing no games. We making a comeback. Let's get to this. If we got some questions, yo, let's raise the hands or something. Jerry, I don't even know that. Man.
Hey, can y'all raise y'all hands if y'all got questions so I can call on y'all, please?
Hey, it could be the credit space, the branded space, the course space, the program space, the ebook space, whatever. Let's get it. We got monsters on this call. Let's get it.
I know y'all got some questions.
All right, so we got Philip. Is that Miss Phillips?
Yep.
Hey, yes.
Talk to me. What you got? What you got?
Okay, so I have a branding question. So I am actually launching my t-shirt brand tomorrow. I have a social media manager. You said something about live. I haven't been on live yet. So it's something that I'm going to do, but I just haven't done it, coming up towards the launch tomorrow. So my question is, I do want your services. I know I waited so long. I've been working so hard. I'm a mental health consultant, so I'm a CSW in DC. So I work with all mental health, people in DC. So I work for a core agency. So I'm starting this brand, and it's basically towards mental health. But
I was about to ask you a follow-up question in that same space. Why do you do mental health? Like, why are you in the mental health field? For you specifically.
So for me, because I was once that broken person, and now I want to help people, heal. So that's something I'm passionate about. I actually, wrote this down in 2013 that I wanted to help people. Like I wanted a transitional housing facility, and I still do. So that's why I started this t-shirt company to help with paying for that. So yes, I want to get it out there, of course, but I cater to women because that's but I would like to cater to men as well, but right now it's just women, because that's who I work with mainly.
Okay. Remember, we talk about more pains. I'm gonna give you some game where we're gonna wrap off also with a clothing line or a clothing brand. You did it already here. There has to be a story behind it, right? It's not just about the look, it's about the fashion or whatever. What's the story? I had a gentleman who actually came up to me. Matter of fact, I might still got his card in my pocket. He came up and was like, yo, check out my clothing brand, this, that, and the third. I started giving him some game again, right on the top. I'm always gonna plant the seeds, right? And so I said, yo, anytime you come up to me or come up to anybody in regards to your brand or your service or whatever you bring, what's the story behind it? Specifically about a clothing brand. Because I can literally get clothes everywhere. I get clothes from Walmart. I get clothes from TJ Maxx, Marshalls. I can go to the high end. We could go to Gucci. I can get me as far as the Christian Dior. I could go crazy in regards to clothes. What's the story though behind it? Right? What is going to be when what's the feeling that's going to be when I purchase your product? What is the feeling going to be, or what is the outcome also if I purchase? And one of the things that I'm noticing with millennials or later millennials and Generation X or Generation Z, what they want to do is feel like they're going to purchase something that's going to help, whether the environment, a social cause, something. Is there a charitable donation with it? They feel like because they're not going to do it, if I purchase this, I feel like I'm doing it. There's a story behind it though, right? So the biggest thing in regards to, I know you were already starting on the store. I want you to make sure that it is touching on the pain of the person that we are trying to attract. My coach used to always say, or always says, the people we're trying to attract, we find out what's attractive to them. I don't care if it's a relationship. I don't care if I'm selling a product. I don't care if I'm doing a service. The people that I'm trying to attract, I'm gonna find out what's attractive to them. Just like myself, I'm out here looking for a wife, right? So I'm out here looking for a wife. I'm going to the grocery store. I'm gonna make sure I'm clean. I'm smelling good. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I'm lined up. If I do have my hat off, I got the line up going on. Make sure ain't no stains. The shoes gonna be crispy. Again, because I know that what I'm trying to attract, that's attractive to them.
Right.
So now I'm studying my person. And then, of course, now I just go ahead and make it. We're going out there as far as in the bait. We build up that know, like a trust factor, and we do it. And so, I'm not even going to do that. But you see where we're going on.
Right.
All right. Okay. But we're going to definitely talk. I just want to make sure I give you that. The story behind it. Is it going to resonate as far as with the pain? Right? Because, again, everybody could have a clothing line. What is the difference between one and the other?
So
it's literally the brand.
I have the storyline. I do have, all of that stuff. The storyline, of course, it's on my computer, but it's very specific because, as I said before, it's talking to those people that are dealing with anxiety, depression, that needs coping skills. I have shirts that basically tell you to breathe, tell you positive affirmations, journals, mugs that actually have coping with anxiety on them. So I have that specific. I do have that together.
Let's get it. So we're gonna rock on that. And the thing about it is another thing. Are you gonna be the face of the brand?
I didn't want to, because I'm an introvert. So I work better behind the scenes. I work. I shine behind the scenes. I get the stuff together. So I will not be the face of the brand.
And I'm gonna give you this, and not just for you specifically. We have a lot of people who wear the introvert badge like a badge of honor. Again, I want you to be who you are. But here's the thing about it. Now, a lot of times we use that as a badge of honor, and it means that we don't want to show up. Well, if you don't want to show up, that means we're going to do a whole lot more work in regards to the brand, that emotional response. We're going to shell out more money because of us not showing up. Right. It is. I've had people who are literally who say, "Oh, Jose, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to do this." I got one of my students. She's in the credit space also, in the credit funding, and she was an introvert. Now she goes live every day, and she's going crazy, where she was able to do her first six-figure month in this space just because she was going live. And what happens is this going live every day, she was teaching, she'll be having now between 60 to 80 people who are on the live. Even if she was to convert 10% of that now into the people who are going to buy into her products or into her ebook, and then convert another 10% of that, now we're talking about passive income off of doing what? Just doing what you already going to do, is showing up.
Right.
But all it does is grow. It grows, it grows, it grows. You know what I'm saying? So, but we're right. And there's the thing about it in the clothing brand space. Sometimes you showing up being the face of the brand ain't even the best alternative anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Because there could be aspects of it like, I don't rock with her. I rock with the clothes, but I don't rock with her, so I'm not going. So, but yeah, we're definitely gonna talk. Hit me in the DM. You got me. I got you.
I got you.
We got Derek.
What's good? What's good?
Yeah.
So look, we're gonna do a quick little rewind, right? You know, when I got on the call earlier and I was saying to everybody that's on here that, you know, that you got to network with the network, and you know, sometimes you got the information and you might just hear one piece of information and it tie everything together. And Jose, appreciate you, because you know I got to come on here and we talking about a real sensitive subject tomorrow, and I ain't had no pain point. So, and when it come to this health, the pain point was me watching my best friend have a heart attack at 30, me watching my father go through triple bypass surgery, my wife getting sick, me almost losing my family. And I never had my pain point. I just wanted to learn about health and how the body work and why everybody around me getting sick and why everybody got high blood pressure and diabetes and cholesterol issues. But now I know the pain point. So appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I've probably talked about it before. One of the things I came up with a theory was called 12 donuts. And just real quick, for those who on, y'all getting more game, but I used to work at Verizon. And again, right next to it in Waldorf, Maryland, right next to it, we had a Dunkin' Donuts. So every Friday, I would actually get them donuts as far as for our team meetings. Right. So it was 2 dozen that I would get, but each dozen had the same joint. So I always ask the people, was like, yo, what's your favorite donut? Right. And they were like, some people say black people only like glaze. Well, I got the glaze, the sprinkles, the joint with the cream filling, some with the jelly filling, all these different joints. Right. And so what happens is I would get 1 dozen and then I get the duplicate of that. Every meeting, they was like, Jose, we only want you to buy those donuts because you're the one who actually has the best donuts. I'm like, the best donuts? It's like, yeah, you got the best donuts. I only want you to order them. And here's the crazy part, though. Those people who would say it, they only had 1, maybe 2. If they were glutton, they had 3. Again, I'm gonna say it, they got 1, maybe 2. If they were a glutton, they had 3. How they know I got the best donuts? And so as I started to look back on it, I was like, bro, the same thing what happens in branding. All I got to do is know at least 12. I'm gonna do this with the 2. At least 12 pieces of pain that my people are dealing with. And all I gotta do is show up with 1, 2, maybe 3, sometimes 4. If I was doing a full keynote, maybe 10. All I'm doing is showing up as far as with the 12, or 1 of the 12, or 2 of the 12. I always use Eric Thomas. For those who know Eric Thomas, if you ever watch any of his videos, he's gonna say what? Abandoned building, 8 out of trash cans, 12 years to get a 4-year degree. Mom lied to him about who his real daddy was. Mom had him at 16, been with a woman since he was 16, only been with 1 woman his whole life, married for over 30 years, right? We could go on and on. In every video, I was like, oh, he talk about the same thing. So I started looking at Gary V's. I started looking at these high level. They talk about the exact same thing, where you have a Gary V who's now getting 125 as far as for 45 minutes to talk, but it's the same thing you're going to get on YouTube. It's the same thing you're going to get in the mentorship. The same thing you're going to get as far as him doing an IG live or a TikTok live. And I was like, we overthinking this thing. So if I know the pain points of my person, all I got to do is show up every time and just talk about 1 of the pains, 2 of the pains, 3 of the pains. I'll never have to talk about it any more than 12. And all I got to do is show up as far as on the live. You know the pains. And if you don't, you need to write them down. Homework time, y'all already know, for those who got homework, I need you to write down at minimum. If you feel like, yo, I know at least 6, we're going to write down 6. For those who want the extra credit, I need you to write down all 12 of the specific pains that you help your person overcome. And what are they dealing with? Specific though. I always talk about, I go onto the mountain, Stone Mountain out here in Georgia, or if I'm running, I got a big baby toe that I messed up right next to the big toe. But I promise you, if there's somebody on this line who can fix my big baby toe next to the big toe, the nail, I got 10K for you right now. Like, yo, I need you to fix that. That's the pain I'm dealing with. Somebody can say, oh, well, because of the pain, when you're walking too much, you could go to emergency room, or then you could go to a patient first. Or then they say, you know what, it's going even deeper. I could go to a podiatrist. But here's the thing about a podiatrist. They deal with the ankle. They deal with the skin. They deal with the toes, the toenails. They deal with the arch. I had plantar fasciitis before. That's different from that toenail pain that I got. No, I need somebody even deeper than the actual podiatrist. I need somebody who deal with the toenail next to the big baby toe. I got 10K for you right now. So when you become a master. Now, remember, we already talked about it. It's going people who going to bypass others to get to you, right? Literally to the point where they understand what's not in their will, how I deal with the toenail. But then at the same time, whatever their fee, they can say 20. All right, got you for this one toenail because the way this jump it hurt. So I need you to understand the pains of your people. And again, the homework, write down 6. For those who want the extra credit, write down 12. Send them to me. I don't care. I'm reading each and every DM. I used to read the DMs. Then my guy Trapper said, and he got 1.1 million. He's like, I read every drink. I was like, dang. I said, all right, Trap. Let me go and read each drink. Send it to me. I want to see him. I digress. My bad. Sometimes I get in that habit of doing that.
Hey, I see Tyrone got a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question. Yeah, so first and foremost, I definitely want to say, I appreciate you for taking the time out to give us, these gems. I also want to say I appreciate you for the authenticity. You get a lot of speakers who come on here, and I've never really seen anyone as, authentic as you, like, from the time of just having the hat back to the hood on. Those are key things that say a lot about you. So I definitely respect that. But my question was, I noticed you spoke a little bit earlier about, you had a phrase that said finding out, give me one second. Oh, you said you spoke about finding out who you are and not what you do. And I found that quote very interesting, because I feel like oftentimes what we do defines who we are. So for example, me, my name is Tyrone, right? My regular name is Tyrone, but my recognizable name is Ty Fix, because I used to fix phone screens. So I branded myself as, hey, Ty Fix and fixes phone screens. But as I kind of got older and I moved into different lanes, like, selling cars and trading stock options, I'm not Ty Fix no more. So could you talk a little bit about like rebranding yourself, and how does that, affect your overall image?
I love it. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of backstory. The Featuring Jose came from, I was on 3 of Genuine's album as a rapper. Had a situation with Sony. So if you even look up on the album with In Those Jeans and Snoop and all them, it'll say it's a song called Cheddar Brings, and it says featuring Jose Cinquentes.
Hey, dog, stop.
So I feature on a lot of different songs. Yeah. And so I'm on these other songs. I'm on tour and everything like that. And so what happened was the tour life wasn't for me. I was touring actually since I was 16, rapping on the radio and things of that nature, hosting at the first time at 16. My sister had to take me to the club that I was hosting, drinking for the first time at 16, seeing all these different things. And I was like, yo, this ain't for me. And so I came out of that life. But at the same time, my whole thing was to impact those who impact the world. Now, I couldn't do that specifically there. The brand of Jose, or featuring Jose, all I did was drop off, quote unquote, the Cinquentes, but I'm still working within my purpose, right? So what is the key thing? Government name is Joseph. Still 5 kids. One of my children passed away. It taught me a high level of humility. It taught me also that I have to serve. I'm a high level believer, Lord Jesus Christ. This is the DNA. I don't care if I'm going to go out here. I said lampshades yesterday. I don't care if I'm going to be a spackler. If I'm gonna go up in here doing drywall, I'm gonna talk about drywall the same way. Like, yo, I swear this, what you see this line right here, what we need to do is, I promise you, y'all, because if you use the wrong nails, that thing gonna poke out and you ain't gonna like it. I promise you. Then you have Shorty come over and she gonna be like, yo, why you got your nail poking out of you? I'm gonna talk the exact same way. Because I understood the brand. All we're doing is putting our product, our service, and what we do on top of our brand, or who we are specifically. I use always as an example, when I built my first house in Maryland, we broke ground. It was a brand new construction. And you go over there, you got your phone and you take a picture. It's like, yo, this is where my house gonna be. You see the vision, nobody else can. People who are driving by, they can't see it. All they seeing is dirt. They got the little signs out talking about sold, This construction company was about to cut. They got the picket signs out there, all that. What do? They come in there, they get a shovel and they break ground. So they break ground and they dig a hole. So after they dig that hole, now they put the pipe in, set up the stuff with electricity, then they lay the concrete. They lay the concrete, make sure that thing is waterproof, make sure it's safe, make sure that that thing can last at least 100 years or more. Some of my real estate people know, or my GCs know a little bit more. But again, at least 100 years or more, and then they seal it off. Well, here's the crazy part about sealing it off. People who are still driving by, it still look level. It still look like it was 3 months ago. It still look like it was 4 months ago. but we set the foundation of this thing. So now when I put a house on top of that foundation, I can turn the house into a multi-level. I can take the garage and make it an office. I can change the housing in regards to make it more modern looking. I can change it from a 3-bed to a 1-bed. I can change it from red to black. I can do whatever it wants, but the foundation of it stays exactly the same. And once we understand who we are in the space, it's almost like therapy. Well, for real, you already know it. You're just paying somebody to ask you the right questions to be able to pull it out of you. So I don't care what you do. Again, I could be doing drywall. I could be doing shingles. I could be doing carpet cleaning. It don't matter what I do. I'm going to still be the exact same me, specifically through and through teaching this thing. Once I learn, execute, and teach this thing, right? So I got to learn to execute it first. Then I'm going to still bring it to the people and teach it. Jeremy, like, yo, Jose, I need you to come on my mentorship and just talk about how you shampoo floors. Oh, I got you. Don't matter what I do specifically when we're talking about who we are. The only reason we talk about what we do is because once we understand what we do to a specific space, other people understand what we do. That's why I told people to do yesterday, hey, I'm doing a mentorship workshop, call or what have you about blank. And I said, what is your blank? Another thing you could look at, if some people were at a restaurant, 8 people sitting at a table, and then they said, yo, I need help with blank. Whatever that blank is, what would they say? Oh, Tyrone gonna help me with that. That's what you do. But who you are has nothing to do with what you do, because that could change at any moment. I went from being a I went from being a rapper out here in these streets, but on into sales professional in these streets, killing the game, into videography and photography in these streets, into brand coaching and course building into these streets, right? Teaching out as far as speakers. And then shoot, as far as my growth, it'll get to a place where I don't even know where I'll be truly in 5 years, because we talking about the levels of growth. I always say on our journey of life, we bump into our purpose. How many times have you heard somebody say, yo, if you told me 5 years ago I'd be doing this, I wouldn't have believed you. If you told me I'd be doing this 3 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you. Because again, we're all on a journey and you'll bump into your purpose. You're like, dang, I didn't even know this was here. So the true essence of who you are specifically, that's why I say it's your values, the belief systems, right? You write all those things down. How are you working as a man? I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be a better man, a disciple, a better father first before anything. That's the true and true. In my room, right in the wall, it says faith, family, fitness, finances, freedom. I follow that to a T. Faith first, though. It's bold, everything. That's who I am specifically. And I bring that off, and you feel it when I'm even talking. And again, I could be talking about drywall. I could be talking about shampoo and floor. You're gonna feel that exact same thing. I digress. My bad, dog.
Been that far. Ty, did he answer your question, Ty?
Yeah, definitely did. You know, great explanation, great analogies. You definitely answered it. I got another question, but I know somebody else had a question, so I'm gonna let them go first, you know. Unless you want me to just ask it now.
Go ahead, ask it. Go ahead, ask it.
That's right.
So when it comes to like branding, I understand like marketing and advertising is extremely important, but I'm not really too sure of like, you know, your background and things of that in terms of like marketing. But what would you suggest when it comes to branding? Would you suggest is more effective doing like influencer marketing, or would you say it's more effective like running like ads, paid advertisement and stuff when it in terms of like building your brand? Because for example, let's say you got a brand and you just started out and you don't really have you know, the content behind it, you don't really got the social clout behind it. Would it be smart for you to do influencer marketing, or you know what I mean? So what will be your take on that?
Me specifically, because remember, I don't talk about my abilities, I talk about the results. So before you go spend the money on market, first off, to answer the first question, influencer marketing on the ads, yes, you do both, right? You work with somebody who does that. I myself, I have a team that I hand off my people for after we've built out the foundation of who that person is. And then there's quantifiable results, right? So it's almost like you're putting money, let's call it what it is. If you got a BS product or a BS service and you throwing money on it, all it is money on top of a BS product. Versus if I'm building something up, and now I'm getting quantifiable results, meaning that I've helped people in this space. I've got results from these other people. Now, when I put money behind it, now if somebody's like, oh, it's a scam, oh, my people going to jump out there like, no. Jeremy helped me out and got me straight. Ty got me straight. No, you're not going to do that. right? And then also because of those quantifiable results, there's going to be a certain way you're going to show up, right? When you don't have nothing to actually go on in, when you show up and you got an ad running, again, remember, we all got a BS meter. It's like something about this don't even feel right. Something about his conviction just don't even feel right. So I'm big on, again, based off of what I've done and the things that I've seen within my circle and the actual quantifier, or we're building a brand first, right? And then in that, there's going to be emotional response. There's going to be people who are going to come in. They're going to get results of it. And then when now we say, now we got a viable product, then I'm always now I can say I can put money behind it. One story real quick, because I'm big on stories. I used to be horrible at stories. Just the short version. I used to, back in Waldorf, Maryland, I used to run up and down this one spot, and it was 5 miles, and I used to always try to beat myself using this app. All right, cool. I'm old in these streets, and I messed my hip up. Messed my whole hip up. And so what happened is I went straight to YouTube University, and I was looking at different stuff. I'm talking about they had me doing like different movements and everything like that, and all these different things. But I was able to heal myself using the YouTube in about 3 weeks. It's the worst pain. I don't know if you ever had hip pain. It's horrible. So I asked the question, because I was able to help myself with the hip, could I make a course or a program about fixing hips? Anybody? I mean, y'all can put it in the chat too. Can I make a course or program about fixing hips?
Yeah,
Who
you got
said
the
yes?
actual result. You got the results, right?
Okay, we got yes. We got some yeses. All right, cool, cool. First off, I'm gonna ask you this: those who say yes, who gonna buy my course about fixing hips? Let's say that.
Hey, if that's my pain problem at that time, and I hear you with some content about fixing, I'm buying. Bro, I see
There's a lot of people.
So I'm gonna give y'all. Here's the punch. It is yes, but it's no as well. Now, if I was to take that same product, that service, the things that I learned, I say, all right, you know what? I got Angela straight. I fixed her hip. I got Tyrone straight, fixed his hip. Okay, I got Kyle straight, I fixed his hip. Now I got Jeremy straight, I got fixed his hip. I got Ray straight, and I fixed their hip. Now I'm taking the results that I've been able to do, and now I have a formula. Because what will happen is if I just do it myself, the same thing, Kyle's hip ain't gonna be the same pain as I had. He's like, nah. As I was learning, there's difference between pinching the pool. It could be a sciatic nerve. It could be a whole lot of different things. Kyle's pain is different than mine. But if I go out here and try to sell something just because of my own results, I'm gonna lose. There's a lot of people who say, yo, I created 6 figures. Okay, I created 7 figures. Let me show you how. Okay, cool, that's cute. Have you helped somebody else in the process? You're selling to somebody. Why wouldn't we help somebody? And so what in building of a brand, that is part of it also. And I ain't saying you got to help the multitude of masses of everybody, but let's get some results behind you, not just for what you did specifically. Let's get some results behind that. Now that we got the results behind that, I use an example, going back to Jason. Jason, only because I only rock with him for real, because he had a gap. He's like, yo, I do federal contracts. I don't even do none of the work. I got 30 different contracts right now going, all passive. I don't do none of the work. I'm like, what? We were supposed to be doing a wholesaling course. I was like, oh, you do what? He was like, yeah. I said, all right, how many people you help? He said, nobody. I said, all right, bet. Because I believe in this, because I know the money is in the gap and somebody's doing it differently than I've seen anybody else do in this industry. I'm gonna make your name synonymous with this. But first we gotta get the results. So I said the first client is gonna be 500. The next one, we did it expedited too. The second client that you bring in is gonna be 1,000. The next one is 1,500. Next one is 2,000. And we went all the way up to 35 where he said, yo, Jose, I'm tired. I can't do it no more. I said, bet. So we took all the people that he had helped between that 500 to that 35. He was working with one-on-one, took all their pains, problems, their situations, their hurdles, their doorways, their gateways, and put it right into our course. But at the same time, he still showed up on IG roughly 3 times a week, still teaching the exact same thing that we had in the course. Remember, people don't pay for information. They pay for organization, application, and transformation. So the same thing that was in the course, he taught it right on IG. People bought into it. They was like, yo, I like that. They couldn't even write it down. They couldn't follow it all the way. I need something in an organized fashion. Now I'm trying to rock. But it couldn't have happened unless he helped those first initial people. And then what happens is their pains, their problems make me a better coach. Their pains, their problems make me a better mentor. Their pains, their problems make me a better teacher, instructor. right? Trainer, consultant, their pains and their problems, because the stuff that they're going through, I ain't never went through, but I have a solution for it. I got a solution for it, but I never went through their specific pain. And if you never went, you ever heard a dude who was rapping and you could tell he wasn't about that drug life, but then you got somebody who really, really about that life, and he talk about some stuff so intricate, you like, damn, I'm there. And you know when they really, really about that life, that's the same thing in this entrepreneur space and this branding space. When you're not really about that life and you have really helped people, people gonna see through the fluff. They're gonna see through the bullshit. It is what it is. Again, I digress. I could go for hours about this. My bad, yo. We got other questions in here. Did that help, Ty? Though I want to make sure we good. Like real talk. Salute, salute.
Perfect.
Salute.
I see Angela got a question.
Hello, you guys. Thank you for having this space. I've been on here since the beginning. I appreciate it, Jeremy. I appreciate everyone's success stories. Congratulations to you guys. Mine is like a story and a question, so please bear with me. When Jeremiah said earlier about his mom been working since 15, that was like a ooh-ha for me because I could relate to that. But since October 2018, I was in a accident. I fell through a deck. So I sustained it like hernia discs, both discs in my neck and back, stuff like that. So I had to stop working because of course, is chronic issues, all kind of issues. So I haven't been working since then. So I guess my question is, before the question, when I stopped working, I paid into the coach program and I became a certified motivational speaker because I couldn't get it out of 9 to 5. So I was like, okay, let me try something new. Let me try something different to even keep my mind out for being working since 15 years old. And now, you know what I'm saying? My doctor saying that I'm disabled and all this and this. My mind saying, no, that's not true. I'm going to continue to do what I do, but my body like, nah, sit down. So I invested in this coach program. I invested in one-on-one coaching, and I graduated for the ICU Academy and became a motivational coach. I got what I'm offering. I made the program up and everything like that. So my question is, like, when you don't have the money to continue to invest, and then the money that you have invested in, and now that you're not working, you can't use that 9 to 5 money to invest in something else, to learn something else new. Where do you start from? Like, you, if you at the bottom financially wise, where do you start from?
That's definitely Jeremy right there. Jeremy, you can show how to get to the bag. Let's go, baby.
It's that credit. So that's why the first thing we gotta do, and one of the first things I teach people in this mentorship is how to build their credit up. And we're gonna go through some of this tomorrow and Monday. But getting your credit right, because once you get that credit right, if you don't have the money, let's just say you get approved for a credit card, you get a $20,000 credit card. I teach people how to liquidate that credit card. So they can pull $20,000 off a credit card, right? If you pull $20,000 off a credit card, your minimum balance is only going to be 10%. So your minimum balance on a $20,000 credit card and your first year is most likely going to be 0% interest on purchases. So you're on a $20,000, liquidating $20,000 off a credit card, you're only going to pay $200 a month. So if you just set aside $2,400 for the year just to pay for the minimum payment, and let's say you invested $5,000 or $10,000 to learn a skill, to learn some information, now you got your credit card paid for a year, you able to invest in whatever, you able to have a little cash for you, And now after a year, you should be making money. Because my students, she made her money back from my mentorship in the same month. So if a person gives you some game, some information, you get a mentorship and you can't start making money immediately, unfortunately, that probably wasn't the one for you. But that's why having the credit, and Gary just put in the chat, she sure did. So if she only needed 1 month, like I can literally give you I'm gonna give y'all plays where you're gonna be able to make money. It's just up to y'all if you want to do it. Like, you don't need money to make money. Honestly, that's a myth. You can build relationships. You need to add value. This is why adding value comes into play. When I start going through affiliate marketing, this is something I'm gonna be able to show you that you can do without having no money. If you don't got money, it ain't no reason that you don't have money. You can't say, oh, the rich only get richer because it takes money to make money. It don't take money to make money. It takes a skill set. It takes some initiative, some relationship building, and you can just be the connector. And I'm gonna be going through this in the next 2 days. So I definitely got something for you.
I appreciate it.
Murder.
Well,
There's
you
love.
got that. You got that. And you were speaking too. For you specifically, again, everybody should be doing it, but who is still on at the sound of my voice? We got the 6 we do. With 6 pain points or the 6 donuts, or you do the dozen if you want extra credit. I'll give you mine real quick. She's multi-talented, not knowing what field of entrepreneurship to teach in, not knowing how to get the education expertise or experience on paper, tired of seeing other people become successful when she feels she is better, not knowing where to start in her brand. She doesn't know her audience or avatar. She keeps starting over. She doesn't know how easy it is to create content. She's uncomfortable with going live. She's a solopreneur and lacks a team. She wants every new thing she sees on IG. She lacks the time throughout her day for business and family. She's overworked. She doesn't believe she's good enough to help others, the imposter syndrome. No discipline or consistency in showing up online. If you notice, everything that I talked about for real had to do with that. Everything that I talked about today and yesterday had to do with that. And I got more because I go past the 12. Just because I teach this, but at the same time, if you got the 12, all you're doing is showing up to that. So Angela, even as a speaker, he's like, all right, what do I speak to? Like, who is the person I speak to? What are the pains that they're going through? And he already showed you the place how to get the different mentorships. Then you're showing up. And if you're a speaker, we want to see you speak. If any speakers on here, I want to see you
And
speak.
that's my thing. I do speak, like, through my past experience. Like, my family member, they always calling me and they comfortable with telling me what's going on in their life, what happened in their life. And I have spoken to their life, even young adults that I think I do good with, because, you know, they living with their moms and they having conflicts with their family. And I teach them to become independent, to go get a job, or, you know, the things that I knew to do that'll give you that sense of independence where you go get your own place. You know, if you feel like you don't want to be in your mom's household no more, you don't want to abide by the rules, I feel like you want to be grown, it's time for you to go. So that way you need to start getting a job, you know what I'm saying, get your own place. And I had friends that did that, and they come back to me and be like, thank you, Angela, for speaking to me and giving me that confidence and believing in me and just giving me love. I let them stay in my house, you know, until they got themselves together. Like, I always help the people out. And then, like, when it's my turn, people turn their back, but I dig my own self out, you know, because I don't want to be no burden to nobody. So I always go in isolation and I figure it out myself and I come out of it, you know what I'm saying? So even with, you know, people trust me with their information stay with me and we figure it out. It's like, to make a long story short, it's like with me, I'm more happy when people around me are happy and me solving their issue and they becoming happy.
Yep.
Absolutely. Hey, look, after we get done with these next couple calls, everybody gonna be able to help people out. You're gonna have 12 different ways you can solve people's financial pain, mental pain, their confidence issues. It's going. I'm telling you, after these next couple calls, you're gonna have a lot of game. So I'm gonna take two more questions real quick. why I got Jose on here. My guy Rasan. My guy Rasan, what's up, bro?
Man, what's happening, man? What's up, Jose? What's
Yeah.
up, Jeremy? How y'all doing, man?
What's up,
Amazing
bro?
on purpose.
Look, thank y'all for your time and your energy, your words, your knowledge, all that right there, man. Jeremy, I got the glasses yesterday. If I took my mail, I got them. Look, you know I'm gonna post about them. You know what I'm saying? You know I got you, man. Jose, my pain point is that when we was on a mentor call a while back, I asked you what your camera setup was. You out here shining on us, man. You over here, you over here in 4K, man. I need the rundown on your AV system again. That's my pain point right now because I need to be shining like you when I come on this thing, man.
Hey,
Oh yeah. That's one of the things. That's one thing I talk about also is selling the sexy.
Oh, come on now. Come on, talk to me now.
Like the biggest thing. So right now I just have a Canon M50. It's literally one cable. Yep, one cable is running into, as far as my laptop, I'm using a software called Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live is basically a full-on production joint right in the house, like from everything where I could do the horns and everything, sound effects. I could do all that right here. Switch between videos and everything like that. That's the main thing. Also, what I have on there, I do have a plug that keeps it powered up all the time.
Okay.
And that's literally it. This is the same setup I go to if I got to teach on other mentorships. If I'm out of the country, I plug this joint up, got the laptop, I get one of the lights that's in the room. Now, don't get me wrong, there's extra lighting that's going on. We got a ring light up here. You know what I'm saying? We got that. I do have these. It's actually, these lights is from Lowe's. It's literally a Lowe's light that comes with like $14.
But ain't no big grow light.
The background. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Because I promise you, if I turn this joint off, you know what I'm saying, it's not gonna look as sexy. You know what I'm saying? I got another light that's up there that's pointing, that's giving some aspects of it. So there's a little bit to it, you know what I'm saying, in regards to how to function. I even have a little program about that, teach you how to set up your virtual area and everything like that. But yeah, that's the basics on that.
Okay, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Hey, Jose, make sure you send me your affiliate link, Jose, for your Amazon joint. So if anybody want to get any of the stuff you got, they can click your link and it'll take them straight to the Amazon.
Got you.
Yep.
Got you.
But this Jose said it was a camera what's this, the EO50? I got
M50.
I just been lazy. I just been lazy. I ain't set it up. I need Jose, you gotta come through when we set this podcast up over here.
Oh, you already know.
That's
that joint gonna be ridiculous. I want to get one more piece of game because I was thinking about when Angela was talking. I know we got one more question to do. We are about feeding. For those who stayed on, we appreciate you. I want y'all to write this down. Pastor. Pastor is the pastor formula, right? Pastor. P, again, is for pain. A is for agitate the pain. S, story, solution. T, testimonial. O is offer. R is recap. Again, pain, agitate. This is the reason why I talk about pain a lot. We got pain, then we got agitate the pain, right? When you go to the doctor's office, you're like, yo, doc, my stomach hurt. And they put you down, they lay you down on that little piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? And what they do, they press on your stomach until you go. They're agitating the pain so they can find out what is going on with you. Right? We have to agitate the pain in our people. The people that we're talking to, even with Angela, the people that we're talking to, they have a pain that we have to agitate it because a lot of times we have it uncovered. I use this one joint. I'm gonna play it real quick. This is the Pastor Formula Masterclass. If you old school, you know this dude. Hold on one second. Let's see. Let's do this. Choose file. And again, Ecamm Live. Let's see. All right, here it goes.
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over. Well, maybe I'll go to school next year, or maybe next semester. No, do it right now. They'll work with you after work, or you can go before work. You can do whatever you need to do to graduate. Go talk to somebody right now. They out to help you. You spend all day on the phone anyhow. Why don't you make a phone call that's going to help you in your future? All you got to do is pick up the phone and make the call. Why are you making it complicated? It's easy.
Bruh. I don't know about y'all. When I was a kid, I saw this job. I was like, damn, I am sitting on the couch. I ain't doing nothing. I do got a phone. Like, I promise you, he made me feel like I had to call them to go to Everest College, right? This is a masterclass in regards to the pastor formula. right? And for those who like, yo, the PASTO formulas too, we have PASO, which means that all we're going to do is pain, agitate the pain, story, solution, and offer. Now, your story or solution, we got the solution part in there. The story could be your story, but more often than not, we want to hear other people's stories. That's the reason why Jeremy kept bringing people in. We want to hear other people. You can hear Jeremy talk about it all day. All right, Jeremy, cool, whatever. I see you got the whips, you got the ice, you doing it. But we got Wes who out here doing it himself as well. You know what I'm saying? We got Gary here doing it as well. We got all these mentees in here that's doing it as well. That is a perfect example of the PASTO formula or the PASO formula, because what happens is if you're doing this, I'm agitating the pain. Like Larry, I didn't even know I had the pain. I was too young for college at the time, but he made me like, man, I'm about to get up and go. He made me mad. And the reason why it resonated with so many people, that video right there was like 33 million. They got some other ones in there that's like 5 million, because people remember how they felt when they saw this dude come up for 30 seconds talking about, yo, you need to get off the couch anyway. That's all.
I ain't gonna lie, but I did go to Everest for medical billing and coding after seeing that commercial.
See, that's what
Bro,
That's how they got rich, man.
I got all this
shit. Man, I'm telling you that joint. I'm sitting there, I was watching something with my sister the first time. I remember it like that probably had to be, I don't know, between 10, 11, 12 or whatever. We just watched some TV and that joint came on. I'm like, man, let me call Everest real quick. Let me figure out what's going on in these streets. Perfect example. And when we do that and we show up, because all they did was talk about the pain. And a lot of it was pain we didn't even know we were going through. All he did was uncover it. All right, I digress. My bad.
One more question, y'all. See Keisha. Keisha.
Hello. What's up, y'all? Okay, so just a quick question to touch back on what old boy was talking about earlier about the rebranding. So if you are rebranding yourself and you going through, like he said, he was talking about, you know what I'm saying, like you got to have results, right? So does that basically mean like if you're restarting or just starting, that you need to basically, I guess, give your services away for free to a couple people just so you have results, so that you're okay with charging on your next go round? Or are you supposed to just start low cost, or you know what I mean? Like, how is that?
I love that question. So most of my people, we will do it at free or low cost, right? What I like about the low cost, let's say when I first started in this coaching space, I was charging like $1,000, but my goal was to get to 10,000. So I treated it as if they would pay me 10,000, and I say, all right, every person I touch, you got to get a 3x return. So I'm going into it saying, oh, they paid me $10,000, so I got to get them at least 30,000 back. And then when I did, I was like, okay, cool, now we can increase. And what happens is the first time somebody pays you on your increase, that is now your market value. The first time somebody paid me for a $30,000 course, oh, okay, that's the market value. It is what it is. So now that's the price. Everybody come in, that's what it is.
Right, because now you know what's worth it.
Right. And the results are, Brittany going crazy. But the results are, I'm literally looking at it where every person who came in and did work with me at least in 11 months at minimum, every person 100% has did 6 figures.
Okay, so now let me ask you this.
7 of them that did millions or more, but go ahead.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Like, okay, so if you are restarting or rebranding or just starting, right? And me and Jeremy actually had a conversation about this before I even started the mentorship. And it was basically like, okay, so I know what my social media is, and that's my friends and family. You know, those are the people that ain't about to mess with you off rip, right? So is that going to do me any good to give my friends and family some free game when they probably don't really even want it anyway, because they're going to be looking at it like, you know what I'm saying, we doing what we do.
Right. So remember we was talking about the release work and the baggage. Main reason friends and family don't work because they know about our baggage. Right.
Well, that's
and
what
they're
I'm
still
saying, though,
putting
but
us
I don't
in the
know how to
box.
contact other people.
Right. So were you on yesterday?
Yeah, I was. I'm
Did
here.
you do your homework?
Oh, actually, I watched the replay yesterday. Don't let me lie to you.
Okay. So one of the homeworks was, because everybody who follows you right now is not just your friends and family. There's some people that you know of right now who also might have been asking you small little questions about what you do in this space that ain't related to you or not quote unquote your friend. They could be associate that you're giving game to. You got somebody who you could probably think of right now. You're like, dang, you know what? Rebecca will probably be dope to be a nice little mentee of mine. And so what happens is I'm big on giving it away for free, whether it's free social media, right? We're going to give it away, remember, because people don't pay for information. They pay for organization, application, and transformation. So we got that, right? So what happens is now I take somebody who's under my mentorship and I now will say, hey, I need to get you a level of success. Here's the thing about it. If I get them a level of success, first off, they're going to speak on my behalf, legs to my legacy. Great, no problem. Also, I can bring them under the fold. They can work with me. We're tandem now. We're a team because I taught them everything that I know. Right? Then it's saying, oh, I'm able to duplicate this. Let me see if I can help somebody else. But now this first or this next person, maybe charge them something. Let me test the waters to see if I could charge them this. And then now we duplicate it again. And it comes a run on. Jeremy, how much was your mentorship at first?
Man, when I started, I offered it to some people I was close with, friends, family, stuff like that for $5.97. Of course, they said no. I went up to $9.97. The more I start increasing it, is the more serious they took it. So people who I offered it to who rejected it at $5.97, they started buying it at like $2,500. Some people buying it now at $7,500.
Right. And so
who I offered it to at $5.97.
Right. And the reason why he probably offered at $5.97 because he didn't have a quote unquote market value. He knew what he spent. Right. And so here's the thing. We got a lot of people who are looking at everybody else and like, yo, I can't charge that because why? Because they never spent that. Right. It's a lot of people who are trying to charge $10,000 for something, but they never even spent $10,000. They don't know what that feels like. Again, remember, go back to the pain. Everything is tied around pain. Right. And so what happens is because these people, or maybe I haven't invested that much, now I got to start at the bottom. But if I spent $10,000 to learn something, right, and I learned that thing through and through, okay, cool. This information that I got, let me test it out. Let me see if it works for somebody else, not just as far as for myself. Okay, let me try mentorship. I might allow some people to come in for free. I might give as far as a scholarship here and there. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get you in for $100. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get you in for $500. I'm gonna get you in for $1,000. All right, cool. What are the results from that? Okay, you know what? They're getting results out here. Oh, I'm gonna have to increase. Because I've invested, they've invested, now they're getting those results. Remember, I said in the beginning, I'm not speaking to my abilities, I'm only speaking to my results. So what I ask as far as for you, we're going to reach out. It's some people that follow you and rock with you don't even know what you do. There's probably people in this community who need your services. They don't know what you do. I need you to put that thing in the chat like, yo, hit me up because I do blank. Same thing also, I'm putting it on social media. Hey, I'm planning to do a call, a mentorship, a workshop about blank. If you're interested, let me know. One, again, it brings awareness. Second off, people are like, yo, if you're able to do a mentorship or a workshop about something, you must be an expert. Subconsciously in the back of their mind, like, yo, you must be an expert about this. I didn't know you was an expert about this. Girl, yeah, I've been doing this for. Bring them in, teach them. And at the same time, now we could create a pre-sale of our mentorship. We could create a pre-sale of our course, a pre-sale of our ebook, pre-sale of our workshop, whatever that thing is. But we have to get those quantifiable results.
Right. So the bottom line is, I should give it away to a select few just to have that backing.
That you feel in your heart of hearts is going to work it. Like that whole friendship thing. I got friends right now, when we do little kickbacks, we drinking, whatever. I say, all right, break. Let's get to work. Tell me about your businesses. And I'm giving game. I'm going ham. We got people in there taking notes, but they never execute. And I always tell people, like, for real, the biggest way you could pay me back is to execute and win. Why? Because your winning is my quantifiable result, but they didn't move on it. Now, this is about 5 years later, they like, oh, Jose, I see you, I see you at Rick Ross' house 3 times. You in the kitchen, you chilling, I was like, yeah, remember I was telling you that thing 5 years ago? You could have been doing it. Now they're doing it. But now here's the thing, I charged them.
Right. Well, see, my whole thing is like, I've always moved in silence. And I've always been the go-to person, you know what I'm saying? If you need some help about something or whatever, they gonna come to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. But as far as how I'm doing it or what I'm doing to get there or whatever, like, my community don't know really what I do or how I do it, because at the end of the day, that's the way I was taught. Like, you make your moves in silence. You know what I'm saying? You let them see you shine.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
I'm about to say.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm telling you. That's why I'm trying to break it.
A rich person or a broke person?
This is what I'm, well, actually.
A rich person or a broke person told you that?
On some real shit, it was my daddy, and he was very well off, but he was
I don't listen to the stuff my mother told me to. My mother told me not to invest in mentorship.
Bruh, that's why I'm here right now. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm asking the questions that I'm asking.
Absolutely. So what
but
you
now
got?
I'm trying to figure out how to come back from that. Like,
so
how do I come back?
You got to step out your comfort zone. You got to tell your story. It's going to require you to be vulnerable, uncomfortable. If I use the excuse that I'm an introvert and I work in silence, yeah, I help people and I work in silence, y'all wouldn't be on this call.
Right.
So you could have the cure for cancer right now, but because you were taught to somebody to work in silence, it's holding not only you back, it's not only holding you back, but it's holding other people back. So
exactly.
Right.
No, I feel you, but my thing is about being present. You know what I'm saying? And creating the brand and whatever. I'm asking, like, how do I come back from that? Because now the people that's looking at me or following me, they don't know what the hell I've been doing.
Yeah, it's real simple.
My question is, how do I come back from that to be like, okay, this is what I've been doing. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm going. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's real simple. At first, we're going to document the process and we're going to show up. And it sounds so cliche, but one of my quotes are, and y'all can write this down: a closed mouth doesn't get fed, nor does it feed.
True.
A closed mouth doesn't get fed, nor does it feed. And here's the thing about it. Remember, I was talking about that whole I am the brand part. This thing is life or death for somebody. So when our mouths are closed and we don't show up, somebody's going to die. It is what it is. Somebody's dying. And the thing about it, we're being selfish, right? And the reason why we're being selfish in a space is because we're thinking internally. Oh, I had people say, "Yo, I'm not going live because my hair ain't done. Oh, I ain't got my lighting right. I'm not this, that, and third." I heard all the excuses in the world, right? But at the same time, you're thinking about you versus the person you're supposed to be helping on the other side of the lens, on the other side of that phone, on the other side of that YouTube, on the other side of that mentorship. We're supposed to be, and I get passionate about it because it's a lot of people who are holding back greatness, but because they're scared, waiting on perfection, which is just another word for procrastination, sitting on their hands, got that whole program that they're supposed to be putting out and it's sitting on our hard drive, got the whole thing wrote out, that podcast they were supposed to start, that book they were supposed to do, all the excuses in the world to not do it, but not the excuse to save somebody's, I was about to cuss, somebody's life.
Yeah, I felt that.
And once we get to the place, and when we get into the place of the life or death for somebody else that we might not even ever meet, then it becomes real.
Yep.
There's been people who were probably on this mentorship earlier today that I probably spoke to them. They probably not even on right now. I will probably never meet them. But at the same time, I pray in my heart of hearts before I get on here, God, give me something that's going to be able to help as far as the people who are in need, because it's not about me. And to be honest with you, because again, I only talk to the mirror. That didn't help until I lost my daughter at 5 years old. Everything had to be about me. Oh, I was Jose. After losing her, that sat me down. I was like, you know what? I'm going to the space where I'm going to serve. I still serve from the back, but at the same time, I'm still showing up also. And it's a lot of y'all on here. A lot of people ain't showing up because whatever reason, all that this bullshit. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No,
the reasons
like I
not
said,
doing this bullshit.
I feel you on that, and I appreciate you, King. Like, for real. I was just trying to, you know what I'm saying, get some advice on how to bounce back, because I don't know if I need to recreate a whole new page. You know what I'm saying? Like, completely start over.
No.
The only thing I will ever say anybody to do, if where you are in the space and what the content that you might have, quote unquote, on your page, and it does not connect or resonate with what you do now, we archive that stuff.
Yep.
Again, I use Jason White. He was selling the Vetica multi-level marketing, dog food, dog medicine, or what have you. I said, man, if you don't archive all that stuff that don't have nothing to do as far as government contracting, which he ain't had much of nothing, it was just some of him. And I say, oh, we start now. Here's the thing, even some of the old stuff, people are going to see the journey. Oh, I came from here and now I'm this. We're just going to cover it up with showing up. We got to show up though. Some people it's like, yo, I had one of my clients, she's major in the prophetic space, and I helped her out with her brand. Dope. I mean, killing it. She was one of the first people I saw doing 6 figures a month just by speaking to people. The way she showed up, she went live on Periscope for 77 days straight. Oh, I'm going live on Periscope. Built up a whole following, built up a mentorship. But one of the things she was like, yo, they probably know me from my book, which is very salacious. How do I get that off of Google? Well, we really can't. But how do? We cover it up by showing up more. Right? We show up more. So now when you search the name, you're going to find as far as the conference, you're going to find the mentorships, you're going to find as far as the new stuff, because you can't get away with the stuff that's already there.
Right.
So now we're just changing the whole perspective. Then there's going to be so many new people who are going to see the new stuff. Like all I ask for real, we're going to start tomorrow. I need you to promise me. We got accountability on here. Tomorrow. It could be as easy as a live. Reason why I like lives, because you know the information. So if it's doing a 15-minute live, it'll take me 16 minutes. Maybe a minute prep work, 15 minutes live, boom, I'm out. But if I do a 15-minute recording, I got to record it. I got to go back. I got to edit it. I want to add music. I want to do this. I want to do third. There's a lot of grace that comes from doing live. Exactly. So I'll say there's a lot of grace that happens when we go live. All you got to do is go live. There's a lot of grace that comes with this. This same teaching I did today, even with the imperfections, there's grace that was given to me because it was live. People rock with it. But if this same thing was packaged in a course, it's got to be a little bit saucier. We've got to cut out some of the and the errors and the issues that we had with so again, that level of grace is given to you already. We're going to utilize that. So I'm saying tomorrow, what time you going live tomorrow?
Me?
Yes.
What time?
I don't know. I guess it's probably like 5:30.
Guess? We guessing? We got 5:30? We're doing 5:30.
What
Eastern
I'm going
Standard Time?
live about? Just going live to be going live? I'm just saying you got to understand where I'm at right now. Understand where I'm at right now. I'm in a
what do you do? What do you do?
I'm in a whole transitional process. Huh?
What do you do now?
Right this moment? Nothing.
What is that new thing that you're rebranding to?
No, I didn't say I said rebranding because that's what he came to. I said or just starting.
Okay,
so
where we going? Where we starting?
Like I do multiple things, but nothing entrepreneurial. Like, okay, I've been a real estate agent, I've been a mortgage underwriter, I've been a loan processor. Like I do all of these things.
That's all
but for other people.
Okay,
but I'm doing them for other people.
Oh, you don't think?
Yeah, those are all.
She said nothing. She said nothing entrepreneur. Everything she said was 100% entrepreneur. But okay, go ahead.
Because I'm doing it for other people, I'm not doing it for me. You feel me?
I had a young lady who was
I'm in this mentorship. Like me and Jeremy had a conversation before I started it. Like we had a whole hour conversation. He was like, "This is exactly what you need." So here I am, and now I'm just trying to see, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put the pieces together.
Yep. So real quick, just a backstory. I had a young lady who was a travel nurse. She was killing it in the space of travel nurses relative what the money is. And I was like, all right, why you can't do it yourself? She was like, so what happens is we got to get a mind of a child, right? I was talking about my son, but even young children, you tell them that the sky's blue. They'd be like, why? Oh, because the way the gas and everything. Well, why? Well, why? Why can't you teach about the things that you've been doing for everybody else? Why can't you be in the real estate space? Why can't you be in regards to the loan offer? Why can't you? Why? Like, why? For real, if you think about it, there is no reason why we cannot. And so now she created her own travel nurse dream. Now she's doing 6 figures a month just in that, what she was doing for somebody else. Because she was like, oh, I can step out on my own and do this. I got all this paid learning experience, paid expertise. Somebody paid me for this expertise. Now I can go out and give it to the people. Oh, let me do it. So now I'm asking you, because again, this is a whole nother drink. This is a whole nother, I don't want to get started. What happens is when we are multi-talented, we got to choose one. For those who are multi-talented, I'm one of those ones. I was multi-talented. Anything I touch, I'll be able to do good. We choose one. Remember that whole commitment and understand the rest later. We choose one. We're committing to one. It makes a decision. Decision comes from decide. We already know what decide means. It basically kills off the other ones like pesticide, homicide, genocide. It means to kill off. There's no other choice. We're killing off the other choice. We decide to say, I'm going this way. Today is the day I'm starting and I'm going this way. And once I go this way, okay, cool, I'm already committed. Sometimes, again, we bump into our purpose on that journey, but we decided and we committed to go this way. When we try to do our hands and everything, it ain't going to work because while you putting 20% over here, 20% over here, 30% over there, somebody who's putting at least 80% is going to fly past you crazy. And the person who probably really needs you is going to go back to them because they put 80% in while you putting 20.
Right.
So we're cutting off the others. And only you will know, or a coach that you're working with is going to be able to say, all right, what are we cutting and what can we do today? Some people go with what's going to make them the most money. Okay. Some people I go with is, dang, I want to give y'all this. Look, Jerry, this,
I know.
I got another exercise. I don't even want, I got another exercise. Because this is, okay, real quick. I got a lot of people who start off in this space. And before they could get to me so on a piece of paper, we're going to write 3 columns. For those who might be multi-talented, multifaceted in the space, we're going to do 3 columns. 3 columns on a piece of paper. You can put it on the whiteboard, whatever you want to do. 3 columns. First off, what we're going to do is, in the first column is our gifts. The gifts is things that come easy for you, yet harder for most. Easy for you, harder for most. You be gifted at singing. You be gifted at basketball. Don't think about entrepreneurship. I just want you to write an unadulterated list about all your gifts. It could be gifts at helping people, gifts at doing a handstand, gifts at doing backflips. I don't care what it is. What is easy for you, yet harder for most. That's the first column. The second column, what is my passions? What are you passionate about? You could be passionate about basketball. You could be passionate about watching TV. You could be passionate about going on dates. You could be passionate about watching space things on YouTube. These are the things that I watch on YouTube. I'm passionate about it. I sit there and watch hours upon hours about space on YouTube when I ain't got nothing else to do. I could be passionate about helping people. I could be passionate about singing. I could be passionate about rapping. What are your passions? Don't think about entrepreneurship. We're just writing an unadulterated list, good, bad, and different, and all the passions. All right, lastly, you're like, what's the last one? Glad you asked. The last one is our core competencies, or we could call our trainings. Now, it could be certified things we've been trained in. It could be things we learned on a mentorship. It could be things we learned in high school. It could be things we learned in middle school. It could be things we learned on the job. Things we learned on the job that I have a competency in, that I've been taught. And then what we do is, after we have this unadulterated list, some of the people I have, and they have a list of 30 in each joint. What we're going to do is take a pencil, pen, marker, crayon, whatever you want to do. We're going to connect. So maybe you're gifted at singing. You're passionate about singing. You are in the choir and you were trained in singing. That is one of those ones that could be, quote unquote, a purpose. Usually if we have a list of 30 and we connect as far as the 3, then what will happen is we'll probably have, usually what I've seen in this, it might be 2 or 3. We're going to choose 2 or 3 that are connected, where all 3 are connected. Our gifts, our passions, and what we've been trained in. Now we're off to the races and going. And a lot of times people are not even putting it on paper to see, because again, your gifts is what God wants you to do. Your passion is what you want to do. When we get them in alignment, that's when we find out our purpose. When we get those things in alignment, that's when we go on our purpose. So that's the homework. And then for those who still, I'm in that space, I need to do this too. I appreciate you, Jose, for that. Hey, that was for you too. We definitely weren't even supposed to be on this long. That was for you specifically. But we're going to have to choose one, commit, understand the rest later, and go. Decide.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So tomorrow, you ain't going live, but you might be able to tell us on the mentorship what you chose, what you're an expert in, and what is that thing we're going to start going towards in the entrepreneurial space. So that's what we're going to look at. Might look at that Monday. You can do that by Monday. I got you on Monday.
Yeah,
we're gonna do that Monday.
Let's go over that Monday.
Yep,
absolutely. Hey, Jose, go ahead and sign us out, Jose.
Look, man, I appreciate each and every one. The ones who even jumped off, I know they got kids, we got family. For those who stayed on, I appreciate you. Have no idea for paying anything back to me, because I don't sell nothing. That ain't how I move. You pay back with execution. You pay back also by planting the seeds and planting that seed for somebody else and letting that thing grow. We talked about it last night. You pay me back as far as execution. Stop making excuses. It's going to be literally execution, execution, execution. We're going to do. I'm Jose, black dude with a Spanish name. Don't text and drive. Drink lots of water. Wear your seatbelts. Be nice to one another. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I got to say that one again. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Brush at least twice a day. And remember that your brand, your content, your mentorship, your workshop, your ebook, your podcast, whatever that you do, your social media is the only media that you control. And I always ask the question, how are you controlling the narrative? Y'all be blessed. I love y'all. You know how I'm out in the wind. I'm in these streets. Let's go.
Let's get it. We'll be back on here tomorrow, 6 o'clock, y'all. 6 o'clock. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Love you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Let's get it.
Good night, fam.
Yes, sir. Let's
night.
go. Y'all know what it is. Shoot that content. We shooting. Let's get it.
Let's go.
All day, all day.
Yeah.
Good night.